everyone, thanks for stopping by. Welcome to the Route 3 podcast. My name is Tommy, and I'll be your host. My goal is to fill the world with real and honest conversation along and about the road of life. Sometimes things are going to get deep, sometimes they're going to get funny, but it's always authentic. So buckle up. Let's go. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. This is 2019, guys. Episode number 18. And this is with my buddy Nick Newcomb and Mark Riley. Mark came into town and we just had to throw it down. But we had a good time. It's really just 3 hours of us kind of shooting back and forth. A little uncomfortable at first, which is kind of unique. And then listening back, it's always nice to just listen to buddies chat. We had such a good time. I enjoy them so much. Can't wait to have him back. Mark's doing great things in Florida, maybe back in Ohio soon, and Nick always has great parenting advice. So you guys enjoy. We'll keep this going. All right, guys. I don't even know what episode this is, but I guess it really doesn't matter because I'll just tell you before this actually happens. Today I got with me Mr. Nick Newcomb.
Good evening.
And Mark Riley.
What's up, guys?
So I don't think we have anything really in particular to say. We were just talking about what we were going to talk about. What's been going on? You just had a little Christmas get together with your family?
Yeah, we did Christmas today.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christmas today. Then we're doing Megan's parents, her family on actual Christmas Day.
So, any surprises? You got any news?
No.
Okay, just checking.
No news.
You sure?
Nothing for public airways yet.
Right.
Oh,
Well,
really?
hey, don't be spreading rumors. No,
You
nothing.
sure?
No. Unless something she's not telling me. But
What's his name?
right.
Those new glasses for you?
Yeah, you like them?
What's going on?
Do they look
They
like
make you look at
too
least
hipster or weird?
5
They
years
might-
younger.
they
A
might
little
be
bit.
a
I mean,
little hipster.
it was a stretch. I was like, I want to get them.
You
So I
do
got
live
'em.
in Fort Myers.
That
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything. If I said if I was in like Miami, then it'd be okay.
Okay.
It'd be different. Fort Myers is just nothing but
Or is it the photographer?
old people.
Is that the whole photographer?
Well, the only I don't know. I have another pair of glasses that I got the exact same thing of, but these I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be creative and get clear ones.
When did you start wearing glasses?
When he got old.
Yeah, which was a while ago.
When he lost his hair.
No, I started getting glasses when I think moved to Florida, so it was probably 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I started wearing
How did
glasses.
you notice it? Did something happen?
Yeah, I staring at the computer monitor. I was
Really?
like, man, it's just I kept having to like flex my eyes, like looks blurry. And then I went to the eye doctor, and they're like, yeah, you have a stigma in your left eye, and the right one's not bad, but you need some kind of correction. And I like put them on. I'm like, holy shit, I can see again.
Really?
This is amazing. But these have like the fancy blue light reflective. Like, can you see the blue light in it?
No, the lighting is not very good down here.
No. It's supposed to block all the blue light from the monitors and your phone and all that. It's supposed to. But the bad thing is it makes everything a little hint of yellow.
Really?
So I have to kind of
Double check.
go back and
Now,
forth
see, when
a
you do
little
that,
bit.
I can see the iridescence in the
Yeah.
lens show up.
So you have to check. You kind of have to double check one for
Yeah.
the tint of light.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter that much, does it?
Well, I mean, it's white balance, color difference and white balance.
Okay.
You're going to have a little bit cooler,
wasn't
and this is a
thinking
little
that
bit
you're a
more warmer.
photographer.
You should have like editing glasses and then everyday
Right.
walking around glasses.
I know.
And reading glasses.
Well, the editing glasses are supposed to be these, but it messes with it.
What about some laser?
Like laser surgery?
Yeah.
I don't need that. I'm not that far yet.
You scared?
It's
I don't
cheap
need it.
now.
I don't need that.
Now
I
you're
might
9
one
cents an
day.
eye.
But you
I did this huge 2-hour-long eye test at the doctor's, and I have like a glaucoma hole or something in my eye, but she's like, I wouldn't worry about it now.
When are you supposed to worry about that?
I don't know.
I don't know about that.
wait until your vision gets cloudy and
Right.
then you just go get your prescription.
But those the eye doctors, like the private ones, they have great equipment, but they are so pushy on buying frames and lenses from them.
That's where they make money.
Yeah, and it's like $500-600. I'm
Okay.
like, I got 2 pairs of these from Costco for $206.
Do you go to Costco a lot?
I do, actually. I do.
Does Costco in Florida, do they have the Costco liquor store?
Yeah, they do. Dude, yeah, they're right attached to it. I've never been in it, but yeah, they do.
If
It
you
looks pretty
if
cool.
you enjoy liquor
Right.
at a discounted rate and still a really good flavor, they've got a high end. They're higher. I say high end. It's like $20 for a liter and a half of tastes like Grey Goose. Serious.
Wow.
Their bourbon, fantastic.
They don't have a liquor store in Ohio?
No, we got to go down to Kentucky.
Kroger's got them all.
Yeah,
Man, Kroger.
it's a monopoly on liquor agency in Ohio.
Wonder whose pockets are being lined on that one.
Union cronies.
When do you have your Christmas, Tommy?
It's tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night? What
Yeah.
about you, Nick?
We had my wife's. We had in-laws yesterday, and then we had my mom's side of the family today.
Did you get anything cool?
Yeah, I got a bunch of cash.
No, that's nice. People just give out cash, huh?
Yeah. So what happens? You get old and no more presents. Oh no, Jess's mom gets us lottery tickets
Cool.
as our gift, and then
Right.
she also gives us money.
What
whatever.
happens if you win big? Is she like, hey,
Nope.
I got you that?
Nope.
Right.
What a soulless
You
way
should
to
at least
gift
give her
gift.
like the $5 back.
It's cool because it's something we all look forward to.
What, cash?
Well, I mean,
Little
that's
scratch-offs.
yeah, scratch offs.
Okay.
Because then it's a big competition amongst the.
Yeah, but how much is it? Like $20?
no,
Look at me. I'm going cheap on a gift here.
well, no, I'm trying to
20
think.
scratch-offs if they're $1 a piece. I mean, that's pretty
There's
good.
usually at least one $10 scratch off, maybe two $5, and then so it's probably $30 worth.
Okay.
Pay $30 to get
What'd you
however
win?
many. 13.
Dang.
Hey, man,
I had
you're
one-
up 13.
One $10 and then 3 singles.
Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So this podcast, you're probably going to want to lay in bed and sleep to this one. Fall
Why's
asleep
that?
to this one because it's
Oh.
probably going to be a little boring.
Oh, man. So today I went to the grocery store, and I was rolling along this Lunchable sides on the backside of Kroger. They got those open freezers, and I hear somebody go, "Hey, how are you?" And I just kept walking. Like, people, what's really weird is how used to I am people just talking to themselves on their Bluetooth sets or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That I do my best to make eye contact, but sometimes, especially holidays, I'm shopping for Christmas food. My mind is nowhere.
You're in your lane, they're in their lane. Leave me alone. Let's get out of here
And I'm
together.
not, if I make eye contact, I'll do my best to smile, but otherwise, I don't. Anywho, she goes, "Excuse me." I was like, "I'm sorry." She's like, "Did you not hear me?" I said, "No, I didn't think you were talking to me. I thought you were just like talking to." She's like, "You don't remember me, do you?" And I was like,
Obviously not.
"No." She's like, "I'm Erica Kane from high school." And I was like, "Oh, how you doing?"
Okay.
And she lost a lot of weight.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for her.
And she's with kids that are like men and women, but I bet they're in high school.
Okay.
So it's I just, and I was telling my wife when I got home, I'm like, my my memory bank is like overflowing. Like faces and names, I feel so bad. I was the rest of that whole grocery trip, I was like,
Who was that?
no, I wasn't. Who was that? It was like, I feel so bad
Oh.
because I know who the person is. I know
When was
their
the last
face.
time you saw her?
What year is it?
Yeah,
18 years ago?
People
Right,
change.
exactly.
I saw someone today at Target that I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
They're like, Mark? And I'm like, hey. And I knew who it was, but
yeah.
they've changed quite a bit.
Mhm.
I wouldn't have really recognized them if they didn't recognize me. I mean, guess
Felt so bad. It's weird how that like overtook me. Like, and I couldn't get any damn stovetop at Kroger. They were all sold out.
Well, yeah, it's
shit's
a couple
disgusting
days.
anyways.
Oh, what?
Dude,
Stuffing?
whatever. Shut your mouth when you're
Blech,
talking
that
to
stuff smells like
It's so good.
rotten
me. It's
feet.
delicious.
It's so good.
It's demoisturized carbs, and all you have to do is add water and stir. Really.
Oh my god.
So I went to Mark's grocery store, and they had plenty of stovetop. Standing in line, this chick's trying to use Amex. They don't take Amex. This whole deal, people giving the rude attitude. I was just trying to be nice, and I was a little upset because I had to go out of my way to go to another grocery store. But anywho, so I get back in my car, and then I look over, and I see Joel Rivera, guy we used to work with at Fuddruckers that I hadn't seen in
Oh wow,
probably 18 years.
That's
and I
cool.
literally been looking
way
for
back.
him.
Have you really?
Yes.
Oh wow.
And
Dishwasher?
well, he did everything.
Yeah.
That dude was. I tell this story to people on random occasions. Guy I used to work with at Fuddruckers that came to United States, came to Ohio with nothing. Like he left his family and his pretty much infant daughter in Mexico, and he came to Ohio with nothing.
Did he remember you?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. Because I went to his house before. I hung out with his kids. I know his kids' names, and because he used to ride his bike from near Northland Mall all the way to Brio. He worked the morning shift from like 7 to 3, and then he'd ride his bike from Brio to Fuddruckers, which for anybody listening is basically Easton to what's the strip joint?
I don't even remember.
Cleveland and
I want to call it Dream Girls, but it's not Dream Girls. It's like
Home Depot, Cleveland Avenue.
yeah, that's better. That's probably a better reference point.
Everybody knows where that's at.
then the strip club that's
Yeah.
right there.
Well, it's bright lights shining.
Yeah, there's some strip club went in there a couple years ago.
Last time I knew it was Sirens.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's still
there
Sirens.
you go.
Really?
Yeah,
That's it?
that's
Okay.
it.
Still
Yeah.
the same thing, huh?
Yeah.
Used to be the Cheddar's.
Yeah.
Used to be a Cheddar's back in the day.
Yep.
Anywho, so no, he used to ride his bike home back to Northland Mall, and he did that 6 days a week. And I always am just like in awe of a guy that can just straight up leave his family, to try to search for a better life, and like just
send all the money home.
in some ways it's some of the same beauty that I see in kind of your story, and just like putting all my stuff in a car
Right.
and driving it. Like you're not really sacrificing everything, but you're sacrificing a whole heck of a lot.
Well, it's just a risk.
Yes.
That's it. For him, it's like this has to work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes back, and then he brings his daughter and his wife back, and
Good for him, man.
he's living here, and it was very
a lot of hard work. Riding the bike from there and back every day. Imagine in the wintertime.
I think at some point I remember he he had like an 88 Corolla. That was like his first major purchase. That thing was a hoopty, but man, he made it work. I just love people that just dig deep, and they're just like, I'm gonna make this work.
Guy I did a lot of business with when I first got down there. He worked for a marketing company that I partnered with, and he was kind of my sales rep to do Google, to sell Google stuff with me.
Mm-hmm.
He was from Germany, born in Greece, and came over, same thing, like, I'm going to make American dream happen.
Yeah.
So he flew over, not really much in his pocket, and every time I see him, he had like this old Pontiac, and it had like, the bumpers are held up with duct tape, and he had no money. Now he's worked his ass off, and he's extremely successful, and he's rocking an Audi, and he's got a beautiful wife now and a beautiful home, and he's really pulled it together for himself.
Thinking about moving back to Germany, I bet.
He went home. He went to Greece for his wedding not too long ago.
Oh yeah,
man, that's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place, but I don't think their economy's doing too great still anymore. But yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's awesome, man.
It's always good to hear those success stories, of people sacrificing it all for their family, really.
Oh no, it's wicked cool just to be able to see him. And he told me he moved back him and his family went back for 10 years. And then his daughter, who's 21 now, I remember meeting her, and she's like 2 or 3 years old.
It's crazy.
And it just like blows my mind, because
you're like, what have I done in these many years that have passed?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you've done a lot, but it makes you feel small. Things go by so fast.
It's wild. It's wild to be able. That's kind of like the first. I don't even know. She was tiny, man. She was like just like, how girls are usually smaller anyway. And I just remember her being like this fat little Mexican little girl, but now she's like a tall 21-year-old woman.
Right.
You know, and she speaks English and Spanish, and she was helping translate today, and I talked to his wife, and she was all there, and it's great. And the cat's still working 2 jobs and he doesn't need to.
He doesn't know anything different.
It's great.
Great work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. So no, that was about the best story I had today. Coming to that.
So on our drive up, we've had some pretty good experiences on the drive up. One thing I've noticed, just to talk about first, is the fast lane is now just the regular lane that everybody drives in.
Every state.
It's ridiculous. Everybody was just in the fast lane, nonstop. Like, it was just all to the left. I'm passing people with the truck drivers. Like, they're all, tailgating each other, bumper to bumper, doing 80 miles an hour. And me and the truck drivers are like, you guys are crazy. We'll just sit over here and cruise at 78 miles an hour, 80, and we'll still fly right by you.
Yeah.
We spent probably an extra 4.5, 5 hours in Atlanta traffic. And it wasn't even in Atlanta. It was south of Atlanta. We go through downtown perfectly fine.
North.
And then we get north.
Yeah.
And it was
Alpharetta.
like, in 4 miles,
is.
there's an 18-minute backup. And you're like, okay, cool. You get through that. And then it's like, in 4 miles, there's a 22-minute backup. And you get through that. And it just kept happening. It kept going. So frustrating.
Yeah, we did that when we went to Disney. And that was a drive.
The drive sucks. Don't ever do it straight through for anybody who listens. I've done it before a couple times, and it wears you out so much.
If it's with adults, I'm pretty cool with it, but
it's extremely...
Put children in the equation.
No.
It's extremely dangerous, especially if you have children.
I hate night driving.
What?
Night when it rains. Night rain.
I can't stand it.
At a long distance, when you're doing it for hours, it's terrible. You're going across the hall or
the
the hall of the
best.
street, that's fine.
I get so scared because your field of vision just what's the percentage reduction of driving in the dark? Like, it's got to be terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can see all this, and then all of a sudden, all you can see is what your headlights point toward.
I don't know what the angle of your peripheral view is, but it's got to decrease by 80% at night when you're driving.
And then all I see is
at night with no overhead lights.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that's the hard part.
Yeah.
When you have like the overhead lights in a city and an overpass and things like that, that's not bad because everything's lit up, so your eyes can automatically pick things up when you're driving by. But when there's none of those lights and you're just in those back Tennessee roads,
I feel like I'm driving blind.
Yeah,
because
I don't like doing it.
No,
Wow.
not at all.
I'm the complete opposite side of the coin on that
And I'm
one.
tired, and it's putting me to sleep.
You're nocturnal.
That's hammer down, Harry. Let's get it going.
Hammer down what?
Oh man.
What do you mean?
Oh man,
Turn the wick up. Sun goes down, throttle goes down with it.
What for?
'Cause make hay while the sun's sleeping.
is it because the cops aren't shooting radar as much?
Yeah.
Really?
There's typically
what?
less traffic, so you can give her a little bit more beans.
Here's a man that's just earlier was talking about how so-and-so car gets better gas mileage.
Right.
He's talking about
That's
driving
for my
a ham.
commute.
During the daytime, I get 38.
I think
That's
you're
for
just
my
trying
During
to
the
commute.
nighttime, I get 2.
just in the argument.
I don't know why. It's something with
Fit the
the
narrative.
nighttime and the daytime. I don't know what happens to my
the
gas
air
mileage.
is more dense, therefore it does not allow.
Yeah. Finish that one.
So we left early in the morning Friday, and we get through Atlanta and all that fun stuff. And the goal, I had rented this Expedition Max, specifically this one, and they were able to get the exact model and everything, which is awesome. In the back of it, I built this platform, and the legs go down in the back cup holders in the back rest area. So it's this perfect platform that kind of splits the cargo area in half. Well, then if you lay down all the seats, except for the front 2 seats, you have almost 10 feet. That's how long this truck is. Almost 10 feet of cargo room. So we put a queen size, mattress, not air mattress, but a foam thing in there, a couple blankets, the whole thing. So all the cargo could just go up on the shelving, and you could slide right in underneath. I've got photos. I'll show you guys later. So me and Megan pulled over on the side of the road, over at Cracker Barrel. We had dinner, and then slept there. They allow overnight parking. There's a bunch of RVs and stuff there too.
Mm-hmm.
So we slept there with the dogs. Plenty of room. It was awesome. It was great. It took a while to like kind of wind down to go to sleep after you're driving for 12 hours.
Isn't Netflix great?
Yeah, she had the tablet sitting on the thing, so you just had Netflix running all night long while I was sleeping.
How many dogs you got?
We have 2, Ruby and Albert.
Okay.
Yeah. They were out front earlier when Megan dropped me off.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She dropped you off.
Yeah, she dropped me off. I said, I didn't tell Nick this before, but I'm like, you're taking me home. And he's like, okay. I was like, if not, I'll just take an Uber.
No.
It's fine. But that was a fun experience. We've never done that, so we're going to do it on the way home, too.
That's pretty cool.
Try to-
It sounds like you researched that vehicle
Yeah. But here's the thing.
to know to build that platform.
Well, the platform, though, kind of came up later. I was like, well, we can sleep back there. But then, like, after a while, we're like, we're going to have so many boxes. We're going to have so many suitcases. I'm like, well, how am I going to do this? I'm like, and I've seen where people build, like, in vans, like, you know, big, tall vans, where they build, like, a bunk bed so you can sleep on top. And I was like, well, I'll just reverse it. I'll build that top piece, and you just put all the cargo up there, and we'll slip underneath it. It was plenty of room. I mean, plenty of room.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Like that
It's pretty
ingenuity.
neat. So the thing is, we locked the doors. The dogs were basically guard dogs the whole night. They sat up in the front seats and just kind of looked around. They only barked once. They were cool about it. But I totally forgot what I was going to say now. I mean, I just literally...
Guard
right on my
dogs barked once.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, so we just locked the doors and let the damn thing idle.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Screw it. It's not mine. It's a rental. So we let it idle. So we had heat and everything all night. It was like 40 degrees. So we just turned the heat up, rocked 70 degrees at night, and just got underneath the blankets. It was cool, man. It was like camping, but in a big truck, SUV.
We did that one year in our Tahoe with because it's got the third row, so we put one person in the back to sleep, one person in the middle to sleep. Jess and I recline our seats back.
Yeah.
Just pull over in a rest area, get a couple hours of shut eye.
We have done that before when we rented some of the bigger. We had an Explorer again, but it was the older model.
Yeah.
And we just slept in the front seats.
We didn't do the elaborate, building of the.
No, but I wanted something to be like, because we were like, oh man, it'd be nice just to be able to lay down.
Yeah.
Because you can sleep if you can sleep on your back easily.
Right.
Then you can sleep in a front seat with the seat down. I can't.
I can't either.
I got to be on my stomach.
True.
Like
That's very
side
true.
with my arm
Yeah.
like this, and I have like my own system. And I was able to do that. There was so much room. You have a queen size bed in the back of that freaking truck.
I'm side sleeper, front sleeper.
Yeah. I can't sleep
Back
on my
sleeper.
back.
I feel like I'm going to die. I feel my throat close.
Megan can sleep like upside down, like a bat. She can sleep in any position at
I
all.
could try that out.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
It's good for your back.
Inversion table.
I want one of those too.
Oof.
I need one of those, man. Be able to decompress.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been going to the chiropractor lately.
Uh-oh.
I love that guy now.
Do you really?
Man, he's amazing. I walk in, I know exactly what he's going to do, so I kind of get up on the table and I know the leg position, and he twists me, and it's like a 1,000 pops, and I'm like, oh, I love you so much. And then he does my neck, and you can feel it just go all the way down your spine.
Yeah?
You feel so much better.
I don't know if I trust him.
Wow. I mean, if it's lights out, it's lights out, but nothing you can do at that point.
Man.
He's not going to get the $40 from me if he,
40
Right.
bucks.
if he kills me.
Have you seen the dude on YouTube, the ring dinger?
Mm-mm.
Oh, boy. You need to look that up. And if you're listening, stop, pause, and search ring dinger, the best of. He basically, I don't know what these tables are, but they have like multiple segments in the tables that you can lay down on. And he elevates the lower leg, bending at the knee at a 90-degree angle. So it's just basically the hips and everything else is flat. He puts 2 pins basically pinning you into this table so it locks your hips in
Who's
place.
doing that? Sorry, who's doing that noise?
Is that Nick?
Is that upstairs?
I don't know.
I think it's upstairs.
Okay, sorry.
Anywho, so and then he comes down and he takes a towel, wraps it around your neck, and then make sure you're, is that me? Okay. It's the upstairs.
Okay, it's upstairs.
Sorry,
I saw your legs swinging, and I'm thinking
Yeah.
it's. Yeah.
So and he just yanks.
On the
And
neck
it
with the
just-
towel.
I have seen that.
Yes.
It looks very violent,
Yes.
but I bet you it works.
Oh, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
I don't know if I would do that either. It looks pretty violent the way how he does it. But I guess if I had a video camera on the chiropractor when he does my neck, I'd probably be like, no.
Right.
But I've seen that before. That is pretty crazy. Pretty nuts.
No. Have you ever done like a put your hands in between two counters and let your back just
Oh, yeah.
elongate, and then you can just
All the
feel it?
time.
I like doing that from like a pull-up bar, just getting on there and hanging, and you can just your shoulders release, and then your neck kind of lets go, and then just like swing your legs back and forth. That's my favorite. One of my favorite feelings.
I'm fine with it because I do it. So
Yeah.
I think it's
And we're back.
Yeah, we took a brief pause, but you guys only think of it as a second, so that's the beauty of podcasting.
There you go.
But now we're talking about like stigma on drugs, kind of. It's kind of a new day.
Well, weed, marijuana mainly. That's still the nasty.
But don't you
stigma.
think it's in general? It's even more than that.
Oh yeah, I mean stigma on hard drugs, sure.
Define hard
You don't-
drug though.
Heroin,
Meth is bad.
Coke.
meth will ruin your life.
Crack.
Heroin will
But is
ruin
Coke
your
that
life.
bad?
Coke will ruin your life.
I think it is.
What about in moderation?
In moderation, there's a lot of writers.
I mean,
screenwriting. I mean, there's a ton of people that
think
do
about
it.
it this way: Would you rather have somebody driving drunk, or somebody driving that
On weed,
maybe just took a little toke of something or
Little
another?
meth.
that's different.
But there's a
Yes,
lot of
I would. I would agree with you. I would rather have someone
You know
that's
what I'm saying?
stoned than drunk. I've been in both situations.
You see
and
the
I drive differently on both.
the chemical that's introduced to your body when you ingest caffeine
Well, caffeine
Or-
can lead to Adderall, and Adderall can be the meth.
or nicotine.
Depends on your addictive personality.
All of these chemical addictions that we have that we just brush aside because it's commonplace. It's every day. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Hmm?
Alcohol, the active ingredient, marijuana, whatever it is. I think it's getting to a point now where it's like, I don't want to say it's accepted, but it is. I think the government and the people that are,
Weed is more accepted.
Yeah.
Marijuana is a lot more
Yeah.
accepted now, especially
they're starting
after
to
so many
understand
states. Right.
really what
You look
the
at Canada.
effects are.
Canada has done the greatest thing in the world for that country, and they have completely legalized it across
Yeah.
the entire country. But the biggest benefit of that is they can now do studies.
And plus, you can
On the-
you can regulate it more effectively. I mean,
Right.
I think that's one of the challenges is that, if your kids are getting into stuff that now it's not just smoking some bud, it's they're doing a vapor, they're doing a dab, maybe they get some shatter or something crazy that's like ultra concentrated, but you don't know how to measure its level of potency.
Right.
There's a difference between having a cup of coffee
Right.
and doing meth.
Well, there's the good
Well,
thing
yeah,
with
for
weed.
sure.
And in that, I'm not saying that weed is the equivalent to meth, but there's lots of different variants
I just think back to
to that consumption.
20 years ago when a sandwich baggie with
Right.
leafy green in it. What else is in there? You don't know.
You really don't know.
right?
You really don't. Now you do.
So you're rolling the dice every time you.
Yeah. You buy it through a
Potentially.
dispensary and something that's government regulated.
Right. It's been tested. It's been
Yeah.
certified. Pure. Whatever the potency of this and that and every other active ingredient in there are.
One big change is the paranoia for myself.
Right.
Like when I was, younger,
Right.
it was illegal and, you couldn't
Sure.
do it. And there was that paranoia against it. Like, oh my God, I'm going to get busted. I'm going to go to jail for this. Really?
Yeah.
And now it's like, there's no paranoia to it because I know I have a medical marijuana card. I can
Sure.
do it anytime I want and it's fine. I
It's
don't
still considered a DUI though, right?
Yes.
If you were to
can, like, man,
get
you
behind
got
the
to be
wall,
out of
you
your
get behind
gourd.
the wheel.
Yeah, and I don't drive on it. I don't ever do it. It's mainly, you get home after the day's work.
I'm in for the
You're
night.
going to relax.
Sure.
I'm going to do some editing tonight. I'm just going to kind of get that nice, smooth, take away the anxiety.
of the day.
And then in the evening, when I want to go to bed, take it then. And it's just, it easily allows you to go whoop right into that sleep cycle. And your dreams are fucking crazy. It's wonderful. But yeah, it's, but the thing is like, the good thing about weed is for, you guys have kids. I don't. If your kids ever grow up and if they ever do it, It's like, you know, they're not going to overdose.
It's not the if, it's just
you
the
know
when.
they're not going to die from that drug.
Sure.
They're going to call you and be like, oh my God, Dad, I think I'm dying. Oh my God, my heart's racing. And you're like, dude,
What's the cop that
quit freaking out.
Chill.
I'll be in there in a couple of minutes.
Right.
Time is moving so slowly.
I'll be there with a Gatorade. Just hang out, buddy. Yeah, they're not going to. Exactly. Time is moving so slowly. I've done edibles, and I don't do them anymore, and I'll never do them again probably because I had an experience.
Edibles are bad.
Are they?
With a brownie, and I've gotten the brownie from someone again who I didn't really know. You know, and it wasn't like an edible out of a store that says this is 800 milligrams.
Oh,
This
okay.
is 300 milligrams. This was like, yo, dog, what up? And then it's like you eat it, and then I thought I was gonna die. My heart was racing, and time was moving so slowly, and so much anxiety rushed through your body, and it wasn't enjoyable at all. I would never edibles. I don't recommend because
that kind of edible.
you
What about
process.
a sealed package?
Well-
The gummy bear comes to mind.
Just eat
Yeah.
the ear, dog. Just eat the ear.
Yes, fucking Joey Diaz. You can do that because you know what it is.
Right.
You know that it's only so many.
And you take
milligrams.
less than you think you want.
Right.
And then you wait an hour.
Right.
And then you decide, how much more of this do I want?
Okay.
And then
And
you go,
the bad thing about edibles though is like when you take it and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, an hour later you're like, oh, I can feel it now. It's starting to kick in. You're like, oh shit, it's still coming. It's still going, and it just keeps still ramping
And
up.
it's like
and you
a-
want it to stop.
it's like a 7
But
to
it's still
12 hour
going.
phenomena, isn't it? I've never had any.
I mean,
edibles.
when I did that, I mean, it knocked me out the whole next day. I was so tired because I think I was just so anxious from it. But
Because, and you have the, what is this stuff? Everything that I've heard or read about it is it becomes much more of a hallucinogenic
yes,
kind of an experience because it's metabolized differently
Yes.
by the liver than it is by the lungs.
Oh.
your liver, your gut, and everything, it processes exactly,
Yeah.
metabolizes it way differently.
Okay.
Releases a lot of different chemicals comparison to if
Just
you
how
were
it's
to-
broken down by the
inhale
liver and just delivered to the bloodstream. And then
Interesting.
all of a sudden,
Whole different ballpark.
So when are they going to start college courses on?
Get this. So I was at my local dispensary in Fort Myers in this wonderful lady, and that's another thing I was going to say earlier. There's so many different people
Mm-hmm.
in these dispensaries that you meet, and everybody's friendly and everyone's nice because they're happy because they know they're getting ready to get stoned. But there's so many different levels of people. You know, there's old grandma that's like, oh my God, my knee hurts. I just need something to help me with that. She doesn't want to get high, so she gets deep CBD oil. But then there was a professor who started a class at FGCU, Florida Gulf Coast University, that is now teaching college kids about the drug, marijuana, and doing different studies on it and things like that. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. She has a great program. In one of my employees, he goes there. I said, hey, have you ever heard of this program? He's like, yeah. He's like, it's getting good feedback. A lot of people are really enjoying going to it and getting the education on it. It's pretty neat. It's very cool. And you're going to see it spread soon.
Sure.
If it's not already
well, Michigan, I think, just passed.
Recreational.
recreational.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. But I was saying earlier with Canada. So now they can completely do studies on it. And that's, I think, one of their motivating things that motivate them to completely legalize it is they can do actual lab studies that show the benefits and, to actual medical people that really, really need it.
Mm-hmm.
To where here it's like it's state driven, so you can only do this state, this state, this state, but it's still federally prohibited.
Yeah.
Right.
So you cannot do any form of studies on it, and it's horrible. But anyway,
Interesting stuff.
it's neat. I mean, it's part of our lives now.
It is.
That people our age, our generation, are
Mhm.
like, hey, man, it's not really that bad. So we're voting for it.
Right.
The generation like my grandmother, she calls it dope.
Right.
Oh, they must be on dope. It's like, not really, Grandma. Like, they're
That's
probably going to
reefer
drive
madness.
10 miles under the speed limit and then go home and play video games. Like, it's not really that.
Stop and get a pizza. It's all good for the.
Right, exactly. They
Reefer
might gain some weight. That's about the bad thing that's going to happen.
It's gonna help a local business out on the way.
Well, that's the thing I think about life is that we all evolved through this very slow-moving, no TV era. Everybody farmed and everybody did hard work and everybody was laborly exhausted. even before, pre-farming, everybody was just, they worked with their hands and their bodies, and now everything comes so quickly that we have to schedule exercise classes and work out intensely for an hour a day, and we try to do things so we slow things back down again to a level that's not as fast paced. I think so much of that we miss, just being able to. It's almost like something in our bodies or our brains is like, okay, listen, asshole, slow down, smell the roses. Yeah. Whether it's a bourbon, a beer, a marijuana cigarette.
Everybody's so focused on vacations.
Everybody what?
So focused on vacations, and I think it ties into exactly what you just said. Because we're so gotta go here, gotta pick this person up, gotta go here, gotta drop this off,
everything becomes a task.
Gotta be at work on time, gotta leave at a specific time, gotta take a lunch from here to here.
I've learned that recently, and it's still hard to process. Is like it's not a task. Like
right.
Just enjoy the ride.
Exactly.
Even if you are doing a chore or something like that, like just enjoy it. Don't freak out about it. Like I've tried to do that, but especially in the last couple of weeks before we came up here, there's a lot of stuff to get ready and done. And yeah, I mean, even like building that stupid shelf in the truck, it was funny. I spent like 4 hours on that stupid thing, cutting wood and screwing together and doing this and trying to come up with engineering of, I even made a hanger piece that goes in the front seat so we can put felt curtain. So we have a felt curtain there so we could slide it so no one can see into us.
Sure.
Just privacy. But I had to engineer these little clips that went over the plastic pieces because I couldn't just drill into them. So I had to, in little things like that, I wasn't thinking about my day job and all the other crap that I would normally think about.
Right.
You had a problem.
And I'm like, oh man, like I was really satisfied with creating this project. I'm like, why don't I do this more? Why don't I do that?
Find a problem and find a way to create a solution. No, I completely agree. When I built that desk out of 2x4s over there, that's kind of was.
It's a sense of accomplishment as well.
I mean, I was like, woodworking stuff interests me, but at the same time, I don't want to buy a lot of stuff that I'm only going to use once.
Do you ever watch any like YouTube videos on?
Oh heck yeah, man! One of my favorites is, I think it's like modern
builds.
No, stop!
Damn.
You're interrupting me. It's woodworking for mortal men.
All right, forget it.
But it's a super cool, quirky guy, but he's very interesting. And
I thought you were gonna say modern builds.
I've probably seen modern builds too.
Yeah, the guy's a little weird, but he does really cool stuff. I love watching that.
No,
too.
it's so cool. I mean, I wish I had a table saw and a miter saw and all this stuff, and I could have all these saws, and I would just need to buy more wood. And now I'm thousands of dollars in the hole in something that I could do, but I just.
You don't have the time.
You could just watch it on YouTube.
I don't want to.
You don't want to have the time?
I don't want to do it.
Why not?
Because I can.
Okay.
There's some of that to it. I want to know how to. I don't necessarily want to. I don't know.
Yeah, that's I don't know about all that.
And that's one thing about podcasting for me is that you can't just know how to talk to people. Having the conversation is most of the fun.
Sure.
But like anybody can build that desk. You just need a saw and some wood.
No, not anybody.
Most people.
No, I don't think so.
I get it though, of just the knowledge of doing it, being able to do it. Like I've watched, people build homes on YouTube.
Yeah.
They show you everything of how they're doing it.
Watching this house get built was just, I was like, oh, okay.
Like, I don't necessarily want to build a house, but you know what? It's nice to know it. It's nice to have that information.
Like, how do you farm? Like,
yeah.
Working in the agricultural field that I do now, I'm like, some people till the land, some people drill for seed, then they fertilize, and they fertilize again, then they harvest, and their stuff catches fire, and then I call them and give them some money.
The circle of life. Sorry for interrupting you, Tommy.
No, it's cool, man.
Calling me out on it.
What? Modern men?
I'm just joking.
Modern
you didn't even listen to me before. Modern builds.
Modern builds.
Anyway.
Next on Modern Builds.
No, it's not like that. Yeah, maybe. Kind of.
So what's going on in the Newcomb clan? Anything new there?
How's the Eastern homestead?
It's good. It's good. I've got some. I've got a lot of trees that I need to take down.
Tommy can take those trees and turn it into a table, cutting board, anything. He's your guy. He's your guy to go to.
And the beauty of the free market is that IKEA can do it better.
Yeah.
That's not true. That is not true at all.
I've got a lot of medium-sized trees that the ash borer beetles hit, so they fall. And I'm dealing with a situation right now where I've got 2 trees that have fallen and are entangled in a vine. I have vines growing in the canopy.
Was it ivy?
No, it's some kind of vine. I don't know what it is. Growing in the canopy of the trees on my property, and these 2 trees have fallen because they're dead and are tangled in this. Basically, the vine is now holding these 2 trees from actually falling and hitting the ground.
Oh.
And it's close enough proximity and at an angle that I don't want to just go in with a chainsaw and start haphazardly. Haphazardly, cutting stuff, and then all of a sudden I've got, 2 600 or 700 pound tree limbs that are
sitting on the ground
now resting against my gutter.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what I
don't
mean?
want that.
Yeah. So,
do you know any professionals that could help you out?
Yeah, it's gonna have to be springtime. I'm gonna have to call somebody.
They're really
to come
cheap,
out and do it.
man. They're really cheap.
I've got a couple guys that have done, because I've had some big trees taken down.
Just make sure they have insurance.
You can post out there.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I've got these 2 trees, or 3 trees, or whatever.
Yep.
You can have them for free to woodworkers.
Yeah,
they'll come out and take them.
They're not big enough. They're really like 6 to 8 inches
Then
diameter.
what are you afraid of? You can do that.
They're 6 to 8 inches, but they're 40 foot tall.
Oh
yeah. Yeah. For me to just put them on the ground is no big deal, but they're tall enough and close enough proximity to the house. I don't want to break a window.
You got acreage there?
3/4.
Sweet. I need to come out there. I haven't been out there yet.
Yeah, we'd love to have you.
I feel bad. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
You should feel guilty.
When you come in
there for a long time.
When you come in, like, this is going to be our longest stretch.
It's only been 3 years.
We're here for the longest stretch, which is this time is like a week. This is the longest we've been here in I don't know how long. And you get pulled so many ways.
What are you doing Thursday?
Thursday we have a big dinner we have to go to.
Okay.
What are you doing for lunch?
I don't know. I might be able to.
You got breakfast planned?
I could stop out in the morning, afternoon.
Yeah. What time do you wake up?
I mean, we're supposed to hit. We need to hit a lot of homes and see people. I miss so many people. We're still trying to get up here.
I know.
I still get emails every day like, these 10 homes are for you, and I'm like, maybe one of them are, but not the other ones. But we're trying. It's hard. It's a hard transition.
If you've got time, my door's always open. This trip while you're home.
Yeah.
Yeah. No pressure. Because I understand you're trying to meet everybody's.
Right.
Hey, come here, come see me. I want to see you while you're home.
We're going down south tomorrow, hanging out. My mom ordered a
Southern Ohio.
Yeah, I never heard of it, but a grave blanket.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never heard of that before. And then my mom ordered one. She's like, you got to pick it up tomorrow before 1, and we're gonna go down, put it on Mel's grave and stuff, and hang out and do that type of stuff and chill for a little bit. But other than that, I mean, tomorrow's Monday, so Tuesday is Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday, dude, I should be able to do that because I think our only plans is in the evening.
Completely
Stop
up
over
to you.
and hang out. And
Completely
see the
up to
family
you.
again. So
don't feel guilty.
I can't guarantee everybody will be home. Because I think Jess has desk appointment. A couple things going on.
Right. That's fine. I just love to see the house.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Stop out and hang out for a few. Have a cup of coffee.
I've been here twice now. So I think I'm due. Is Jimmy Mack still living...
Same place, I believe.
Same place?
Yeah.
I was worried about him, man, because we tried to get him to come here, but he wouldn't respond. I'm like, is he okay?
Nah, he's all right.
Yeah,
he's
but
fine.
Man,
he's got his things, man. He's got his lifestyle. I don't
Jimmy.
blame him.
Yeah.
I get it. I totally get it. But I would have loved to have him sitting here though, jabbing up a storm for an hour and a half.
Lord knows he would have.
it'd have been a fun time. That's why I wasn't going to get 4 mics, man. Because I'm not going to need to talk that much.
That's why. So I texted you today and said, hey, did you get that 4th mic? Because I was going to bring my brother.
Oh, you should have.
No, I don't want to share a mic with him.
Okay.
No offense, Michael. But
no pun.
yeah,
Michael. Nah, you're slow.
I am slow.
Oh
It
man.
must be that medical marijuana.
No. And not to bring down the mood, but like I had put something up on Facebook. I don't know if you saw it, Nick, about a former guy that we used to work with, Dave Chamberlain.
Let me
Yeah.
guess. Let me guess. Fuddruckers.
saw that.
Yeah.
I think it goes back to Fuddruckers with
well.
you guys.
But he died.
I know.
Oh no shit! I'm sorry, dude.
No, it's okay. And I never really got the chance to like reconnect with him or anything. But like, he went back to Florida, came back to Ohio, and I don't know, man. There's something about it that really messed with me.
Didn't he work at Burger King?
I don't know. He might have. Well, he did some stuff with Tim Hortons. I mean, he was doing some district managing for
I
some
thought for
You could have
sure
probably.
I saw him.
How old
at
was the guy?
Burger King
How old
on
was he?
Sawmill.
early 40s,
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
but a seizure and heart attack and
Oh man.
just like done like that. And I'm like, holy cow.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's different with kids, but I start to question like a whole lot of things because of like my dad dying when I was like 7, and you start to like, I don't know. I just thought about so many different things about, man, oh crap, what am I doing? What happens if? And it's just been a wild mental digestion.
You gotta. The things I've learned and felt. You gotta live your life the way how you want to, but then you also have to pull back and be able to think of like, this shit can end anytime. It really can.
Yeah.
It's scary as hell.
It is totally scary.
Like I have a huge phobia of dying. I really do. But then again, it's like I'm gonna do what I want to do.
I'm not. I used to be scared of it for me, but now I'm scared of it for my kids.
Because it's got a deeper impact.
Yeah, how is it going to affect them,
Right.
and how do I
'Cause that's
impact
true.
them to the point to where it would lessen the severity? I can give them all the money in the world, but that's not going to change my personal impact to them.
Right.
That's kind of like the thing that I've been like mentally processing. Like, shit.
Yeah.
It's just a wild. It's just a different thought process, I guess.
That's weird because Jess and I, of course, we have life insurance, and we've had that discussion before. How much is it too much? Is it too little? It's interesting that you say that because it's not necessarily about the money.
No.
No, the only thing the money does is just give you a little security while you grieve.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all it does. It's like, okay, I know my bills are taken care of. I'm
Right.
going to try to process what just happened. That's it. That's the only thing it does,
That's
in my
wow.
opinion.
Yeah.
But it's
I
necessary.
hadn't really actually thought about it that way.
It just blows my mind to think about how that all. That's my dog.
It's my dog.
Yeah, and I don't even know how to put it because it's just a weird feeling. Because I mean, money. I've almost already eliminated money from.
Sure.
I don't want to say it's not a problem, but you get to a point where you're like, how much more do I really need?
Right.
And I'm not rich. I mean,
I think your next job needs to be a financial advisor.
I
You
don't
were
know.
so good with money.
You don't know that.
Yeah, I've known you for a long time, and ever since the beginning, I've known that you have been very well with budgeting things and being able to save and things like that. Unless you have some weird gambling problem that nobody
No.
knows about.
Well, it's just live below your means, and the problem is that financial advisors make money selling you things,
Sure.
I see.
and I don't want to sell people things
Right.
because I don't think people need sold things. I think people need sold discipline. That's number one, and then number two is sold the idea that they need to not invest in some crazy stupid mutual fund or some life insurance policy that's a variable rate. Just fucking put it in an index fund.
Right.
To me, it's simple, and that's one of those things. Just like,
Maybe that's what they need. Maybe they need somebody to shoot them straight and not try to sell them something.
yeah, but then those people don't make money.
Why not?
How?
I mean, there has to be a cost for service.
Yeah, but what's
And then that way you have a clear conscience, knowing that you're making a living or a subsidized income.
yeah, I mean, I think you could fight. You're swimming upstream. Is
Probably.
literally the problem.
Probably.
Could you make something of an impact? Perhaps. but you could give the advice for free. You don't need to charge people for it. I mean, I could do a podcast on it and go, hey, don't spend everything you make.
Right.
But I mean, Mark's crazy. He's in the bathroom right now.
He stepped away.
But no, I'm just like every other schlep. But there's a lot of good people that do good stuff with money, but I do see that too many people are commercialized in general with the whole money aspect of it, and they're just being sold a bag of goods that's not as, you know, it's like a Folgers commercial, man. Nobody's house looks that good when you're making a cup of coffee. You know, they're selling you a lifestyle.
Right.
You're never going to live that lifestyle. There's great State Farm commercials. Have you ever seen these new ones where they're like, blah, 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 when your life goes right, and they're like, the one dude's like watering some flowers in the backyard, and it's the perfect idea of like,
take
normally
away the filter.
They sell you this thing of some glorious house, a beautiful wife and kids, this beautiful pool, but dude, summertime never looks like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's hazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's drought. Your grass hurts when you step on it.
Yep.
You know, and you're hot and sweaty, and you don't have as much hair as you'd like, and you know, it's not as rosy as people want you to sell it. But I was just saying, Mark, there's no money to be made in providing financial advice for.
Right. Well, I mean, maybe that was a bad suggestion of a career, but whatever your wife is making upstairs, oh my God, does it smell good? Before, when you had ordered, you placed your order.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, I'm good.
No, it's a good thing.
I think I'm gonna have one, whatever it is.
She's made extra.
She's making up.
That's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
So amazing.
She's made extra for you. 'Cause I told her I wasn't sure if you had it before. She was like, "Oh, okay."
It's lumpia, man.
Lumpia? Never had it, but it smells amazing.
It's basically my wife's version of a Filipino egg roll, and it's not everybody else's version. Basically, 5 pounds of beef, a bunch of baby carrots chopped up really tiny, cabbage sliced pretty thinly, onions.
It's like
celery.
a man's egg roll.
Really?
Oh,
I was gonna say because I don't really dig egg rolls.
You get egg rolls and it's mostly cabbage with a little bit.
I don't
of
like
something mixed in
cabbage,
there.
right?
It's like flip mode. You put more beef than you put in cabbage.
Nice. I
Yeah,
like
so
that.
it's like a
Really
hamburger
good.
that's rolled up.
Just after my doctor told me to stop eating red meat.
Well, you know what? What does your doctor know?
Exactly. That's what I said to him.
He went to school.
Right.
Ask him how much time he spent on nutrition.
Right. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
He's like, you could probably stop eating red meat for a little bit.
You know what?
And I was like, I'm having steak tonight, bro.
That was a sub-paragraph in chapter 3.
Well, the beauty of it is everybody knows what they do wrong, and they just don't want to do it. Right?
That.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, eh.
I did fall back a little bit on it with eating more fish and chicken, and I lost like 2 pounds.
Congratulations.
Right. So it's worked out pretty good so far. But
Nice.
I missed my steaks.
Steaks?
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a steak. It's everything you eat with the steak.
What else are you eating?
But, I mean, I eat the traditional broccoli or carrots or things like that, you know, or mashed potatoes, garlic mashed potatoes with a steak. And, you know, that's the typical type of things we don't really eat.
Like, I think...
But it's the butter. Like,
When
that's another thing. It's like, if everything's
I don't think it's
saturated in
that.
butter, that's what I need to stay away from.
Why?
It's carbs, bro.
Just cholesterol.
Stay away from carbs.
The thickness of my cholesterol.
It doesn't.
or the
It doesn't.
tubes in my heart.
It doesn't go in. It's not the same way.
No.
Why are you telling me I should eat it all the time?
I'm telling you, should eat butter with your steak,
Yes.
and then don't eat potatoes. Eat broccoli.
Correct.
Well, I still eat broccoli, but then
No,
I also
don't
have
eat
that damn
potatoes.
potato too.
No.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Meat and potatoes.
Yeah. Stop to put the potato. Everything else is good.
But I like it so
Yeah, I
much.
know. Everybody does. They're really delicious.
As far as diet goes, breads were introduced way later in the game.
Were you sure?
Yeah.
People just didn't have bread like in the 1800s?
No.
Early 1800s? And they're like just dipping it in their soup?
No.
No?
bread and their butters, and no.
Think about it on a elementary level. What did our species eat? Meat
Yeah.
and vegetables.
You're right.
Hunters and gatherers. We didn't make bread.
You didn't harvest.
There
wheat
wasn't
and
any
then mill
dairy.
the grain, and then there's dairy, right?
Very, very, very little.
Not the same level.
I guess a lot of people really didn't consume dairy until
Correct.
probably, the early 1900s?
Correct. And think about it. Another look at the obesity we have today That's only started since probably
1980.
67.
But no,
Probably-
it's the same stigma against weed that there is against fat.
Yes. Fat is
saturated fat.
The problem is fat
Correct.
consumption has
Differences.
went down, but sugar consumption has went up.
Yes, sugar is the problem. Is a major
Yes.
problem.
What
I
is
get
bread,
that.
Mark? Bread is a sugar, fool.
That's all it is.
Telling you, bro.
Fucking
Sugar is inflammation.
brain on bread.
Inflammation swells things.
Then just take CBD oil to reduce that inflammation. What are you doing? I'm eating a piece of toast with CBD oil on it.
Just dip it in there.
What are you doing? I'm just, making sure it's good.
Counteracting. Oh, that's great.
But I know I'm being serious, and I read a book on paleo diet, which is basically outlining the same thing. Over the course of history, what did humans eat?
Right.
We are one of the only mammals that eats another mammal's secretion. The milk from a cow.
Right. Yeah. No, you're right. I
It's
don't
not
eat.
natural.
I don't consume a lot of dairy. If
Good.
I do, it's cheese,
Yeah.
and that's it. I don't
You
drink
gotta be careful
milk.
with the cheese too, because most of the cheese you eat, most of the cheese you
Processed.
get, is processed with oil,
Yeah.
and it's not the good oil that you need to be consuming.
Right.
Polysaturated and monosaturated, good fats. Yeah, I don't. Maybe not.
But trans fats. No
Yeah,
way, no.
bad. No.
Right. I get it. I don't disagree with the what diet is that we just eat nothing but
Yeah.
meat. I don't disagree with that, because if you're just eating a good source of game or a good source of meat
Right.
that doesn't have all the, like I said, butter and all that other crap in it, which is dairy, butter, things like that. I think it's great. I would go on that diet too, but I enjoy chicken, fish,
Oh, yeah.
and, all sorts of things. And when I cook it, I put
Seafood
some
is good for you.
seasonings on it.
Yeah.
I put seasoning, but I don't go crazy with it. I make fish, I'd say probably 2 or 3 times a week for Megan and I.
Good.
We do like tilapia, which is like you can get by the pound
Right.
for nothing down in Florida.
Right.
But yeah, we put like some Cajun seasoning and stuff like that, and fly.
And a big thing is cutting that bread, cutting that sugar out.
Yeah, sugar. I'm really trying. I don't really have a big sweet tooth anymore compared to what I did, but every so often it's like, after a good meal, you just want that little piece of nice chocolate and caramel or something.
And every once in a while, it's not a problem.
right.
It's
I'm not consuming it during the day.
right.
And,
Every meal, every day.
Yeah, it's not like a bowl of ice cream after every meal.
Right.
I know some people that do that, and it's you can tell.
Why am I so... No. That's what I say. Everybody really knows what's going on. They just
Sure.
either refuse to pay attention
It's
to it.
hard, man. And what the study shows that sugar is like worse than cocaine, like the
Yes.
addiction
Bad,
or
man.
crack addiction or whatever. It's horrible, and I've felt that where I'm like, damn, I want a piece of chocolate, or I want this or that, and I still do it. But it's one of those things. It's hard.
It's not just the piece. It's the half the bag that happens.
I don't think I have a problem with that.
I'm not saying you do.
No.
Just many, many, many others do.
I'm just sharing that I think I don't. I mean, I can have a little piece of chocolate, and that satisfies me.
Oh, then you're golden.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fine. But sometimes, though, during the day, I'll be like, damn, that sounds good. Just a, caramel and chocolate or peanut butter, Reese's Pieces or something like that. When's your wife bringing that food down? Because I'm getting hungry now.
She's going to bring it down, bro.
She's bringing it down?
I don't think she's going to.
Oh, we got to go up.
She's not a servant.
Is this portable?
Kind of, sort of, not really.
Right.
Huh.
Get those 30-foot XLR cables.
So last time I had a podcast with you or we
Yeah.
talked, I was like, oh, man, I'm going to get started exercising.
Oh, yeah?
No, I haven't. I haven't done that.
That's good.
Yeah. I stretch now. I'm like doing a little bit of yoga.
You mean
kinda
you
in the
stretch when you
morning.
get out of bed?
Yeah,
or-
I'm like, ugh. That's about it. But
Exercise is good,
you gotta
man.
start somewhere.
Man, I'll tell you, it was the other day I did a long row. It was basically a really aggressive 21.5-minute row, 22-minute row before I did my actual workout class. And I experienced the runner's high.
did you really?
Yeah.
How was it?
I haven't experienced it in a while. I haven't really ran a long distance in a while, but it takes about 30 to 40 minutes of good work, and from what I've read, basically depleting all of your glycogen storage in your body, and your body's working on replacing with other stuff. And there are some cannabinoid type receptors that are turned on, I believe I've read. And I remember I had to go to Kroger, and I could not give two fucks less about everything.
Really?
I was just like walking, and I was standing near I remember the ranch dressing, and I was like, oh man, what am I looking for again?
You're too focused on being happy. Basically.
Yeah, I was in a state of euphoria.
Really?
I was tired, but I was awake. I had trouble focusing. It was just, and when you can't focus on something, you can't really have a problem because you can't focus on having a problem.
Wow.
I was just like, oh man. I was having fun with it because I knew what was happening. And I was just stupid about it.
It sounds amazing.
Every second of it.
Sounds amazing. I'd love to do that.
Whew, just
I don't know if I'll be able to get there. But
that's all right.
Interesting.
It's really fun, and people have done a lot of research on it, and I don't know the true science behind it, but they used to think that it was one thing, and now they think it's kind of another with the whole cannabinoid thing, because I never really thought of I notice it when I work out really heavy for longer periods of time, 30 to 40 minutes, like very cardio centric. I'll start to smell ammonia.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm only smelling it. Nobody else can smell it. And if I eat or drink something, the smell goes away. It's just the byproduct from my breath. I'll think it's my shirt, and I'm like, smelling my shirt, smelling my body, and I keep smelling it, but
ammonia?
Yeah.
Ammonia?
And when I used to go on like 7, 8, 9, 10 mile runs, I'd get the same thing.
10-mile runs?
Yeah, when I used to train for half marathon stuff.
Jesus Christ. That's crazy.
Wow.
Crazy to you, commonplace for other people.
That's true.
Yeah,
It's true.
It's really.
Will you
messed
run
up.
in 10 miles?
No.
All right.
Bro, I'll tell you what. Getting fat makes running no fun. I can't even. I probably couldn't even. I could do a mile. It'd just take me a really long time.
How many times do you think you'd stop and walk?
For a mile, maybe 5. But
I'd say that'd be
it takes time. Like it.
minimum for me.
I didn't realize how I don't want to say how good I was, because I think that's an insult to people that run. But you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But on the flip side, it's like people that don't run, they're like, damn, you just ran 7 miles? That's a long ass way. And I'm
Yeah.
like, it's a slow day. I don't know what to tell you.
7 miles is a lot. It really is.
Well,
To the average person.
I know. But I used to not feel warmed up until mile 3.
Wow.
It's just
That's
really
amazing.
weird. And then you just like, that's when the fluid starts. And you're like, oh yeah, this is going. And then you get lost. And like the world goes blank. You just have something on the headphones. And you're so primed for attack because somebody could beat you to death with a fucking switch. But you're just, there's something that happens. And that 3 mile mark would be about 30 minutes for me typically, especially in the heat. The heat, but it feels good, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I lied.
Oh, she did bring him down.
She did bring it down.
Oh, Lord.
We got lumpia
Oh,
on
my
demand.
God.
With soy sauce. Oh.
I wasn't interested until I smelled it.
Ah,
I wish you guys could see this right now. It looks so good.
yeah, we'll have to take a picture. I don't have a phone.
They're going to enjoy it audibly here shortly.
Audibly.
No, they're really good.
I hope not. That's one of my worst. I hate that so much. When people talk on the phone and they're eating,
Yeah.
that drives me so nuts.
So you're just gonna smell it?
I like people call me like, "Hey, Mark, so I was wondering if like we could set up." I'm like, "Call me back when you're done eating. When you're done with lunch, call me back, because I don't want to hear it. You chewing on whatever you're chewing on."
You don't hear Nick chewing on this?
Mm-mm.
No.
That's why I pushed his microphone away.
It's about to happen.
Wow, that looks amazing.
Ooh. he
All right,
dips.
Tommy, go
It's
on
like
a
a slow dip.
Tommy. This is a time for you to do a monologue.
Yeah. Well, you see, I've already said everything I have to say today. And yeah, it looks delicious, Nick. Is it good? You think it's pretty good?
So
It's very good.
What is this? Some kind of a soy sauce? Or
Yeah, it's just
that's
soy.
a very potent soy sauce. That's the Silver Swan.
Silver Swans
Filipino soy sauce. I have to go to the Asian market to get that.
Mm.
So it has enough sodium to kill a village.
Oh my God! Yes, it does.
Yeah, it is potent, and it's cooked in that stuff too. So it's like double dosing.
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. Just a flavor that runs over your tongue, just encapsulates your mouth. There's nothing like a beef burger and a egg roll.
What are these called again?
Lumpia, Filipino egg roll. Many like
I'm
official.
dipping on the other side. By
Yeah,
Double
many
dip on it. It doesn't matter to me.
Right. We've all kissed, right?
people do. Eesh.
I'm just kidding.
They do a lot of pork or ground with a mixture of ground beef, but my wife she'll say the same thing, meat and potatoes, because she's half white, half Filipino. So
good.
we just do a whole tube of ground beef.
Yeah.
So good.
I'm telling you, man, I had 5 last night for dinner, and I woke up and boy, the fried mixture with the lumpia. It's a healthy morning.
Yep.
It's a good time.
So yeah, just bought another car.
Why'd you do that, man? What's wrong with you?
How much?
A couple of $2,000. Rust free.
Dude, you gotta have a beater car.
112K.
What'd your wife say?
It's a 98. She was against it at first.
Yeah.
And
How'd you convince her?
Please. She loves me.
Please.
Oh yeah. Is that
She
it?
loves me.
She's like, no, you're gonna do this. You're gonna do that. And you're like, okay, no problem. I'll do
No,
it.
I mean we had talked about, to drive my other car daily it's not cheap. It's got a car note.
Did she ask you to sell it?
She didn't outright ask me to sell it. She asked if I could get what I owed on it.
Okay.
So honestly, it's probably cheaper for me to have a second car
Okay.
that gets twice the fuel mileage. Cheaper to insure.
It's really hard for women to understand that.
No, she gets it. She gets it. But
At least on
the
experience.
the Audi's $50 every 3.5, 4 days.
Wow.
Easy. So you take that on top of the car. No, I mean you're $800-900 a month.
Can't you just telecommute?
Yes and no. Could I work from home? Yes. Does my boss like that? No.
Okay.
And then it's fine. I got no problem driving to POW.
You should get a Prius.
I think I'd rather have a Civic.
I'm just saying, if you're into saving money.
But
You
I
get
mean,
a nice
I'd love
Prius
to
for
see
$5
making a
grand.
Prius.
I'm just saying.
With these glasses,
Listen, bro.
I like the new Prius. I think they look cool.
What
I
about-
don't. I don't like the new
No,
ones. I
get-
like the older
Get the
ones.
old ones, 50 miles a gallon.
No,
What's wrong with 50 miles a gallon? Nick?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
You could save a bunch
Absolutely
of money.
nothing. So it's couple fold. Okay.
Okay.
Commuter car. Came with a whole bunch of parts.
Ooh.
Right. I've known this car basically for the past 10 years. I've worked on it. I've done all the maintenance on it.
I know an autocross car for sale if you want one.
Well, and it's going to double as an autocross car.
Okay.
Something for Garrett to kind of learn and cut his teeth on. For he and I to get out and go out and have a little bit of fun.
The car I know of has no expense spared.
I don't have.
It's
I don't-
clean.
I don't have 15K.
I know what car you're talking about.
I don't
The
have
car is
15K.
clean.
And I would have to buy the trailer with it.
You think so?
Yeah.
It comes from an expert car builder.
I helped put that car together too. But
He redid the parts that you
some of them.
worked on. I'm just kidding.
It's got a new clutch in it. It's got a bunch of stuff. It's like most people don't think about, but I'm like, okay.
What suspension's on it? Because I noticed it was lowered when you pulled up.
It's got coilovers that are a year old. It's got cross-drilled slotted rotors, HP pads, all been done within the past year. I just put a clutch in. It's got EX gearbox. It's got a wide intake manifold. I mean, it's got a bunch of stuff that I would want to do to just kind of get it to that stage one, quote unquote stage one, autocross car.
Mm-hmm.
Integra seats. And it's super clean. Other than being smoked in, it's super clean.
Oh, really? Can you
Yeah.
smell it still?
Yeah, a
Is
little
it on
bit.
the windows?
It's been heavily Febrezed.
Mm.
So you get like the initial
You
Febreze.
need that like real
Did you Arm
hard
& Hammer it
steam
yet?
clean.
And then the underneath is like
Baking soda.
cigarette dirt.
Baking soda. Baking soda.
That's
I've
true.
been watching YouTube videos, and they say to get the Tide cold water laundry and put it in a spray bottle diluted with water. Basically, you just vacuum everything because supposedly, this is what I'm hearing. This is what I'm being, checking out on the YouTube stuff from all these professional detailers.
Is this going to be on the YouTube?
It's already on
eventually.
YouTube.
Eventually, yeah,
It's
they'll
a
be.
joke.
So you vacuum all of the scent is sitting on the top of the fibers of the interior. So you wipe all the hard surfaces and semi-soft surfaces down to remove that smell. And then basically you're left with the cloth headliner, the carpet, and the seats. And you use this Tide cold water detergent diluted in water, spray it down, and then they call it mop it up. So you basically just, pat it dry, if you will. And that's supposed to...
If it's in the foam of the seats, it's going to be hard.
I know. There will be new seats in it shortly.
It's super simple.
So is
man.
this turning into like a project car now?
Yeah, it's something for
that
he and
kinda what
I
it
to
is?
kind of tinker
That's good.
with.
That's
and
good. That's
him,
cool.
Him to learn on, drive, learn to autocross.
That was going to be when we were talking about your son earlier in pardon me, that he got his permit.
Yeah.
And he was driving around and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I was going to say to you, like, that's a great experience for you to be able to take your son and go autocross.
Yeah.
Not because also the bonding experience
Sure.
between you two, but also for him at
Yeah.
a young age to be able to have a closed course and be able to put it to the floor and be able to
Understand
experience-
what the car does at
Yes, because
its limit.
I don't think we had that when we were
Yeah, we
kids.
did.
Yeah.
We went in the snow. Remember snow? Remember running in snow?
Yeah,
Snow
absolutely.
drift video.
Don't
My
snow.
dad-
Don't soul.
I do remember that so
Oh,
much.
dude.
I'm so embarrassed by that stupid video.
Don't be embarrassed. It was great. We were pioneers.
My dad taught me how to drive a 5-speed in Westboro South parking lot in the snow. And I remember driving it, and I'm like, I got this. And all of a sudden, I'm like, "Roar," going through corners. He's like, whoa,
Don't
now.
got it.
Whoa now, boy. Calm down. But it's a great experience for him to be able to do that. That's awesome. So that's cool that it's a project car for both of you.
I'm pretty excited.
It's not
about
just a daily driver
No.
that you're going to commute back and forth. It's
it's that as well as
Sure. Right. That's good. Good for
Oh, that
you,
is
man.
good.
Those things are fucking amazing.
They're really good.
They're so good. I've never had anything like that.
The Lumpy is awesome. But no, that is a really good experience. I totally want to shit on your parade, Nick, but I mean, the experience of that is probably priceless. In
Yes.
reality, it just
Having-
means snow tires.
Can you imagine being like,
Did you order snow tires yet?
It came with snow tires.
so in the pits, you're hanging out with your son, you're teaching him, hey, look, buddy, you're walking the course with him. You're saying when you come through here, you're going to want to be able to dive in this like this. You're going to want to trail brake here. That's a phenomenal experience, I think, for both of you guys. It's a great idea to have that car.
Understanding oversteer and understeer in a car and what to
Right.
do and when to do it, and understanding what wheels are driving is like, it's probably the most important element of driving.
At an age of 16.
At any age.
Yeah.
I do that
It's
with
amazing.
my minivan. I'm like, okay, if I push, I know what I need to do. I need to scrub speed. If my ass end kicks out, accelerate.
I mean, imagine if
It's going to make him such a great driver.
yeah, it's the building block of the rest of his life of being behind the wheel of a 3,000-pound killing machine,
It could happen to where the point where he just takes out every single cone, though.
and he'll learn. That's the beautiful thing about being on a closed course with just cones.
Yes, I know. I could see him like, "Poop, poop, 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 poop," and Nick going,
That's fine. That's fine.
I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
Because then what we do, we go back, we sit down, we analyze what we did wrong, what we could have done right, how to go through there clean and fast,
Right.
right? It's all good.
So I can't wait to bring the Mini back to Ohio and be able to run some autocrossing.
Let's do it.
I'm ready for that.
Let's
That'd be
do it.
fun. My wife's like, so if we move back to Ohio, you're going to sell the Mini. And I was like,
Why?
what?
What
She's
for?
like, yeah. She's like, well, how are you going to get it home? And I'm like, I'm going to trailer that son gun home. Put it on a trailer or do something with it. I can't drive that thing home. There's no way I can drive that thing home.
Just fly me down, I'll drive it.
Fly you down. You'll drive it?
Yeah.
Right. That thing has like 3/4 of an inch suspension travel, basically from factory, and then you add in what we put on. I mean, what I put on it.
I'll take care of you.
It's terrible.
Just let me know. I'll drive it back for you.
I drive that thing daily, every day. You know, it's a 2012, and I just hit 36,000.
When's this move occurring? Because I think I'm going to be in Florida a couple times this year.
Who knows? Who knows when it's going to happen?
Okay.
We're still saving money and, things like that. We want to be prepared. We don't want to go at it blind. We have equity in the house. We're, in the house. We want to use that. But I want to be able to save up more money to put towards it. So it's going to take time. That's all. I'd say by the end of the year.
Oh.
2019, we'll be home by 2020.
I'm telling you.
You heard it here first, folks.
My boy. Remember, I sent you that guy's information, and I'm gonna send it to you again. If you need some special helping hands.
I'm at a loss. I'm sorry.
The dude I referred to you. And I said, hey, he's a good dude. You should probably reach out to him.
Oh, yes, you're right. I'm sorry. I haven't, I gave up on Ohio. I did with working here.
Yeah.
It's just there's no point there's no way I can do it and be in Florida still.
No?
And manage it. I can't. It's just it's not impossible.
I'll quit my job. What's up?
It's out of it's just not feasible for me right now. I need to be here to be able to do it.
Okay.
So but Ohio's hard. It's
Why's
going to be
that?
difficult to do what I do up here.
Really?
Yeah. Just the season. The seasons. When you come into the winter months, is that rough?
Just a different bird.
Yeah, it's huge.
Plus, I think down in Florida, I think you get a lot of the folks that want to put the wow together to be able to rent or lease or sell or whatever it may be.
You don't do that. There's not a lot of it here.
So they're willing to pay X amount of dollars
Yeah.
for a service to come in and really showcase.
Yeah.
And I think in Ohio, there's no seasonal rental stuff. I mean, unless you go out to like the Hocking Hills type stuff.
Yeah.
And that's a one-time deal. It's not a recurring all the time. You're going to, I think here it's going to be, it's more of
the pride of ownership for people here
different.
is the only time you really get the professional photos.
Right.
Is when the homeowner's like, I've done a lot to this house.
Mhm.
This home is amazing. I want a professional come in here.
Sure.
That's when you see it. Because like I said, I get that email every day of like, here's 10 homes recommended for you, in Columbus.
And I honestly,
9 out of 10 are shit photos.
right.
I mean,
And I don't see, unless it's a multi-million-dollar big place and somebody just has the money, I don't see somebody with just a $500,000 house paying somebody to come in and do professional photos versus their realtor doing that as part of what they offer.
Well, that's what they normally do.
You know what I mean?
It's normally part of it. That's what sometimes the realtor's like, I always hire a professional to come in. That's kind of their sales pitch.
So the realtor hires you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The sales pitch for the client, for them, the homeowner, is, hey, I always hire a professional to come in to help sell your home.
I see.
Rough.
Yeah.
Rough.
I didn't realize that. I thought maybe it was incorporated differently.
No, I'm going to that's the majority of my work is through Realtor. So I'm going to start a new campaign, though, and it's going to be a pride of ownership campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be for those people who this is their second home, and it's in Fort Myers or Cape Coral or Naples or wherever, and they've worked their entire life to have this beautiful second home. And it's going to be mainly to do a photo shoot for them and then do a large print, because I don't ever do prints. To do a large print to where they can hang it in their home in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
Of their Florida vacation home. Like that stupid thing like that for a few $100.
Sure.
That's going to be a new campaign I'm going to run when I get home.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's neat. It's kind of a direct marketing to the homeowner.
Right.
And not a direct marketing to the realtor.
Right. It does well, and it does a couple of things. It does when that individual decides that they want to sell. Hey, remember we had those photos taken and hang up in the in the foyer over there?
And more than likely they've changed things in the home, so they're going to rehire me to come back anyway.
Right.
You know what? I never thought of it being, because if it's in Ohio, it would be just a completely different animal. But, people's house typically looks really good in the early or late spring, early summer months.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't people take photos of their house like they take photos of their family when they look the best? Why wouldn't they invest in saying, you know what, I probably want to sell this in a year or two, but I'd love to get some great photos when the foliage is perfect. when the lawn is.
People don't think like that.
I know.
People don't think, hey, they don't look like, they don't do what you do. You look at the future. Tommy, you know where you want to be in 5 years.
Yeah.
You know where you want to be in 5 years.
I know where I'm gonna be. I don't know where I want to be. I know where I'm gonna be.
See, that's even better. Majority of people have no idea. Homeowners, they don't think about that, so they're not going to do photos now.
For
And
$5.99 a month,
people
that's $5.99. We could protect your investment by making sure that we have stock photos on your house.
People
of
are
its
very
most
meticulous.
prime time.
I've gone back for reshoots, and I've been paid for it. That they're like, oh yeah, we got new couches, new couches.
Yeah,
They think that that's going to be
something that doesn't come with the house. It's gonna
exactly that they think it's going to be able to help sell it.
It's
It's
gonna
like,
boost it.
I'm like, I don't care what you did, you're still going to pay my rate. That's
long as the
fine.
check clears.
I don't care. But it's interesting to, that happens a lot. I shoot a home, and 2 months later, the realtor hasn't sold it yet, and they're like, oh, they changed some of the interior. They got new lamps. We need you to come shoot just the living room. And I'm like, well, just the living room is still just the same rate. And they're like, okay.
Da-da-da.
Happens so much. People focus on wrong things, on selling. It's like, okay, so the reason why it's not selling is because it's too high a price.
You're overpriced for the area.
That's
right?
it. That's all it is. Lower your price and the damn thing will sell.
Maybe you could take a couple 10,000 off.
Because when you look at photos of a home, especially like when you bought your home,
Yeah.
what did you do? You did this. You're like, boop, 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 boop. You thumb through you flip through those
I'm not
photos
looking at the
so
couch.
fast.
I'm not looking at the lamp.
It's
give a shit
Tinder
about
of
that.
home buying.
It is.
I'm
You're
looking at
swiping
the
right like
floor
crazy. Or is
plan.
it left? I don't know.
I don't know the
I don't do
answer.
Tinder.
I'm looking at the bones of the structure. I'm not looking at what couch you've got or what
A lot of
lamps you
people
put
can't
in.
get past that, though. A lot of people can't get past when they see
Are
the
they
interior.
really that superficial?
Well, I mean, I guess it's even sometimes, though, I can do that, too, when I see those homes and I look at the homes that are here and I look at it. My brain instantly goes to like, oh, God, that's a horrible
The couch
setup.
doesn't work there.
Why would you do that? And then you instantly are like, I don't put that home. And you flip through it. But it happens, man.
See, I always look for the potential of something, not what it is currently.
Mm.
And when we bought
That's
our
a good way to
house,
look at things.
I'm like, ooh, I could do this, and then we can, and then we do there, and then we put this here, and we get this, and we put it over there, and it'll be.
How big's your garage? You got to give me a footage. You got to give me
garage
exact
is
footage.
huge. It's bigly.
That's what sold him.
40, yeah.
That's exactly what sold him.
Yeah.
And when he said, like, we could do this and we can do that, it's all solely in the garage when he's thinking about that.
Maybe.
It's like 2 garages.
Yeah. So it's got your typical, 22 by 24 square for your 2-car, and then
It fits 2 small cars and 2 normal
and
cars
then
in there.
directly beside.
So
like
Jessica parks right in the very beginning front left part of it.
yes, front left. Yeah, left.
And the door entrance is probably to the left.
So
Closest to the door is where she parks.
yeah.
And then all the rest is you.
Well, no, so I parked right beside her, and then to the left of her car.
Hi guys.
So Nick and I had a brief conversation about like electronics. And what do you think, Mark, about electronics in today's world? You think that it's good or you think it's bad?
When you say electronics, what do you mean specifically?
Oh, phones?
Cell phones? Do you think they're
Yeah,
bad?
No, I'm asking what you think about them in general. I mean, is it going to be the demise? Is it not as good as we like it to be? Is it something that's going to be bad?
It's a hard subject because it's a great piece of technology to
At
make
what
life
expense?
make life a lot easier, to be able to find information very quickly, very very quickly.
Yeah.
To have that, like, okay, Google, blah 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 blah, and then there it is. That's a great piece of technology comparison to when we grew up. It was like in school, you wanted to find out about something, you had to go to the library.
Does that play into our instant gratification complex that we're starting to develop as a society?
That's a lot of words I don't really process right now. But no, I mean
He doesn't have the bandwidth to
I
process
don't right
that.
That's
now.
what I heard.
I've had a few beers hanging out. Yeah, it's not processing with me right now, but My opinion, yeah, it's hard because my personal experience with my phone is, if I didn't have this, I would freak out. But the only reason why I would freak out is because communications with my wife, with my mom, with my, whoever. That's the only reason why. But I mean, I do check, Facebook, social media. I'm not a big, I don't post a lot on social media. I'm not a big avid person on it. But it's, you see it constantly with people just nonstop with their phone and technology. And it does. I think it does hurt. It hurts actual social interactions with people.
Yeah.
Being able to communicate like how we are now, a long setting of talking back and forth. And, it's even when we fly in the bus ride from the parking lot, no one ever says a word to each other. Ever. Not like hey, where are you flying to today? I'm headed to, Chicago. That's cool. We were in Chicago last week, blah, blah, blah. It's just everyone's staring at their phone, doing their own thing.
Is it really a phone? It's not.
No, that's the name of the thing.
That's the name of it, exactly. And it is a piece of technology that is...
We call something a phone that we do not use as a phone.
Not a lot of people do. I have one photographer that works for me, and if I text him, he'll respond like that.
Yeah.
If I call him, it goes voicemail.
Really?
And then he's like, hey, man, what's up? Why couldn't you just answer the phone? We can talk. Like,
wait, so you call him and then he texts you back asking what you want?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, that's not just him. It's experience with a lot of other people that I have communications with on a daily basis.
And that was actually one of the things that Nick and I were chatting about was, the way that business is actually conducted by today's people is not necessarily voice to voice.
No.
It's much of it's
email, text message,
correct,
digital, communications back and forth. But here's the thing, though. I get phone calls a lot, too. And I'm like, I'm not going to answer it. I just don't feel like talking to the person. I don't. Just text me. Just text me, hey, man, I got this job to do. And it's easier for me to be like, cool, this is available this time. And I can throw it in my schedule compared to be like, I got this job. There's a lot more information sometimes that people will give you that you just don't need. They just talk and talk and talk, and you're like,
one of my favorite farmer conversations is this. I'll say, hey, man, sorry to hear your tractor burned down. Would you be able to send me any pictures in an email? Well, I don't do those fancy email things. Can I text you?
Yeah, but your tractor runs a GPS, and it has all this high technology in it, and yet you can't write a freaking email?
Auto drives. I don't have them email things. Can I text
I can imagine your conversations.
Can I text
with
this phone? And I'll get at least one a month where they're like, well, I sent all those pictures to you. And I'm like, where to? He's like, I texted them to you. And I'm like, to this number?
The number I'm calling from?
You texted them to a desk?
How's your son in high school with technology now?
Hooty-hoo.
How does that affect him? Have you ever talked to him about that? Of like, how's the social end of being in high school?
I honestly think it hinders.
Yeah?
I really do. He communicates with a lot of people.
Is he going to listen to this?
No, I doubt it.
Okay.
He communicates with a lot of people via text message or FaceTime or whatever it is. But I think because it's so many people that the integrity and the depth of those conversations are minimal.
So hot dog down a hallway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's text messaging is very convenient for a non-immediate conversation sometimes. If I'm like, I need your assistance right now, or you need to talk to you, and you have to be able to call somebody.
Yeah.
And have them pick it up. But if I text you, like we've been going back and forth, what time do you want to do this podcast? Blah, blah, blah. It's convenient to be answer it at any time.
I also think it hinders his ability to recognize tone changes in conversation that even that he and I or he and his mother have. There's a certain way that you can say something that if you were to text it.
Well, that's where emojis come in. It's true. It's true. That's helped. In a way, it's helped. It's like, hey, man, like when someone says okay and there's like a smiley face after, If there was no smiley face and the answer was like, okay, is it like a okay, cool, all right, or is it like a okay, whatever?
Yeah, it's my wife saying whatever.
Whatever, I guess. I guess that's cool.
Is that going to hinder him when he decides to go into the workplace? He can't text while he's sitting there in an interview. He can't text his replies.
No, it does. That's absolutely
You know
going
what
to
I'm
affect
saying?
him. Yes.
And these are the integral years right now in his social development when he's dealing with adolescence, coming into adolescence, dealing with other individuals as they enter into adolescence, and they're developing those same skill sets. If they're not really there to develop because they have their phone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, did you see that?
I didn't see anything.
Was it?
My light bulb just went off.
Did it really?
We should have Garrett on the podcast.
What?
That'd be cool. Bring Garrett on it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I totally get it.
And that might not be a bad idea. Maybe
No, but you know what I
maybe we bring
mean.
him on and get a 15-year-old's perspective on.
How do you get a bladder?
You know what? I'll bring my nephew on here too. He's 16.
There you go.
Bring him in at the same time. Ask him the questions. Hey man,
That
how's
might
this
be too
work?
much.
How does this work in your
It
world?
might be.
T. Grant, you got to invest in some new mics or other mics, not new. These are great.
How dare you?
I'm sorry.
This is expensive.
Yeah, but you can afford it. You're a big baller.
But I know even when even if I have to talk to him about something that's serious nature, he doesn't. I don't know that he comprehends 100% of the time. The state in which I'm talking at, and I don't know if it makes sense the way that I'm wording this, but it's like, he may go into the defense, and I'm like, buddy, look, I wasn't meaning it this way, and I have to really go in depth and explain to him exactly because he hasn't had that exposure to talking.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So I don't know if this really matters with it, but like your dad's frustration with you when you were that age, do you kind of
being
see
able
that?
to articulate myself to him or vice versa?
Right.
Yeah, I mean that definitely
that's a
plays
general
into it. Sure.
Overall aspect of it, but can you imagine if you had the technology now,
Right.
then being able to communicate with him?
It would be that much harder.
Yeah.
I think it really would.
But in reality, he is developing skills. While you might not see him as the skills you want him to develop, he's learning things that's going to be needed for his generation.
Possibly.
No,
I guess-
100%. 100%.
I hope not.
Yeah. No, you're right, Tommy. I think
If that's the
I'm
case,
not
we're all
saying that-
doomed.
I'm not saying that
We're
it's
doomed.
It's
Well,
not.
we were doomed when the TV and the telephone came out, bro, but things worked out.
I'm not saying it's not needed to be able to have other skills besides this form of technology
Right.
to be able to utilize. But it is good to be able to have that,
The-
and
the
be able
one-
to master it.
Right.
in a way.
The one good thing is he's got his game consoles, PS4 or whatever, and they do talk
Mhm.
to one another in game. He's got friends that live out of state that he talks to, keeps in contact with. So I mean there is some of that there.
But there's finding a balance to it. How do you find that balance to in-person interaction?
Right.
Here's the big thing that I see it if the shit hits the fan, which it might not. Who knows? Everybody thinks it's going to happen during
What proverbial shit are we talking about hitting
like
the
if the
fan?
shit hits the fan, dude. If we have a solar,
Oh man, I hope
EMG
that knocks out
Yes,
that knocks
that would
out
be
our
awesome.
power system.
We
I
all
would
got to go
love
back
that.
to carbureted
It knocks
cars.
out our
Yes.
it knocks out our communications. It knocks out our power grid. Do you imagine the total, complete chaos that would consume this world or this country at least?
It's their own damn fault.
So it's I don't know. I mean, you should teach your children to be able to survive out of that element, which is hard because that's the only thing they've ever known is that element.
Right.
So can your son could probably learn how to chop wood, to
he
throw in a stove to be able to
He can wield
not
an axe.
freeze to death.
We've
to
done
death.
that.
But a lot of people don't.
I know.
I don't think my nephew could wield an axe.
I couldn't butcher an animal.
Dude.
You could. You've never done it.
Yes, you're right. I probably could.
You could.
Do I currently possess that skill set? No.
No.
Could I adapt and figure it out? Yes, just
Right.
because that's who I am.
Right. You see your starving wife and your kids that need to eat. You're
Right.
going to do anything you can do
Sure,
to
sure,
I
sure,
definitely
make sure
need
they
a
eat.
YouTube video for that one.
Right. But then you're not gonna have you're gonna be like, fuck man.
I've
I
already
could just
watched
look
it,
up
though.
this
I've already
YouTube of
watched
how
it.
to freaking do
That's
a fillet of
actually-
a fish.
I've watched
to know the knowledge.
Yeah,
of it.
to cut around the asshole.
Yeah.
And make sure you cut around the front and
Yep.
back, and then just kind of try to take that all at the same time.
And then when you do it in
Come
real
hither.
life, you're like, God damn, this is really different.
Yeah,
than
you
what
need
I
a
watched
sharp
on YouTube.
knife, man. Those guys have some sharp knives.
Have you guys ever hunted?
Yeah.
Have you shot anything?
No, shot at, not shot.
You never killed anything.
No.
Do you think you'd have any remorse or sorrow for the animal that you killed?
No.
define remorse? I mean, like, am I eating? If I'm going to kill him for food, then no.
Correct.
So at that point, though, so you're in a tree stand, you got a deer that comes by, and this is pre-apocalyptic
Yeah.
area. This is just for hunting and almost not trophy hunting.
No.
You're not specifically
No.
doing that just to have the antlers and things
Putting
like
meat
that.
in the freezer.
You're putting meat in the freezer.
Turtle soup tonight.
So you can shoot that deer, and when you shoot that deer and it's like, "Arr!" and it's not dead yet 100%, you have to be able to kill that thing once you get to it and you've tracked it. You have no, like, I feel bad for this animal.
No, there's respect for it,
Okay.
and there's respect for life,
Correct.
right? Like there's like I definitely feel bad for him, but my intention was to take a life in order to feed
Right.
and nourish a family.
Right. I asked that question on the same side you guys are on. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never hunted and killed an animal. I've hunted, never had any luck.
Right.
I've never done that.
Right.
But
It's like being able to put a dog down. This
That's-
is,
right.
I mean,
but you're
I
not
guess
eating the damn
nourishing
dog,
your family, but at the same time, like,
depending on what country you're in.
are you trying to let the thing just wallop in misery, or
Right.
are you gonna help that thing finish it off?
Right.
We struggle with that with Julius for a couple months. That's a tough one.
I
Well,
believe
because it's a family member, it's not a wild animal and the pet. You know, where you're not gonna make jerky out of him.
Yeah. Yes and no. Yes, it was a pet.
He's not a pet; he's a family member.
he
it
is,
really
but
is.
He's a pet too.
To some people.
I'd say majority of dog owners will consider them a part of the family. My two dogs are my family. Megan and I go through so much shit just to make sure that they're happy and they're doing their thing and to protect them because, one, we have sensitive stomach dogs. Like, they could sniff the freaking carpet and they have diarrhea tomorrow. Just because that's the nature of that dog is they're very GI tract sensitive. But, yeah, I mean, they're my kids. I love them to death. Like, you know, I can't even fathom the day that we have to do something like that and be able to put him down. So I love Julius. You know, he's a great dog. But
I can get another one.
What's that?
I can get another one.
You can. And you know what? It's because, well, what if he's like a parrot and he lives 100 years?
Right.
And you've had that dog for 80 years of your life.
Oh.
You know what I mean? You're not going to be like, next one. You know.
Why not?
But circling back to the hunting thing, you know, you're right. It's you know, you kill it, and it's out of respect for the animal.
Yeah.
Because that's probably the best way that animal's going to die.
Sure.
Is a swift arrow to the heart or gunshot, you know, that's going to kill them instantly. And,
Yeah.
you know, they're not going to get mauled by wolves or
Run
gonna
over.
die of, you know, they're going to break their leg and they're going to sit there and suffer for how long, you know,
Right.
months to a year and die that way. But
I mean, it's not like you're killing an endangered species.
Correct.
I'm not a doomsday guy at all, but I think you need to be prepared to have a skill
Mm-hmm.
to be able to provide for your family.
I agree.
You know, I'd love to own land. I've been looking at land for a year here.
They're not making any more of it.
Of buying property of, you know, 10, 20, 30, as many acres as I can get for a certain budget. I'm so about that. Be able to
Even
put
if
a
you don't
cabin
do
on it,
anything with it other than have it.
just to have it.
Yeah.
I mean, one, it's a getaway to be able to leave and get away from the city and go back to a very simple life.
Yep.
You know, for even if it's just for a weekend, to be able to reset the mind, to be able to go back into the work week. But, you know, if the shit did hit the fan, that's the first place you go to. You lock up your house here and say, it's done. It's going to get gone through. People are going to break into it. But that property that I have 20 acres on down south of Ohio, I can defend that a lot better than I could the crazy neighbors next door.
And we've talked about that, you know, buying something.
A farm?
No, just buying land.
I've looked at so much land.
Yeah.
I know the going rate of southeast
Yeah.
Ohio.
What do you think the going rate is for Lewis Center?
Lewis Center?
Yeah.
Please.
Silly.
That's stupid. That's the thing. You're going the going rate of Lewis Center for what? Commercial end for building condos. That's a different story. You buy 20 acres in Southeast Ohio, you don't spend more than $30,000. What's $30,000?
Right.
That's a car.
You got
Right.
it? Can I borrow $30,000?
You can't borrow it. I can loan it to you for.
I'll let you have the mortgage on my
26.6%.
property, sir.
But no, we've talked about that. Just to have the land, and then you get a long weekend. What do? Pack up the truck and grab the tent and fill the cooler, and let's just cut out for a
Here's
little bit.
another great experience for you and your son. Buy the land and say, look, we're going to build a cabin here. It's a 10, not 10, but it's like a 16 by 24 foot,
Sure.
Cabin. It's not very big. You don't want anything big and something like that.
Right.
But we're going to build it together. It's going to be a basic block foundation. We're going to put timber frame, and do something like that. Let them wield a hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid things like that. Is like my nephew, for instance. The only experience I have with that is my nephew, and at the time that he came down to Florida to help me, kind of just in the summertime do whatever. We were hanging up a TV, and we have concrete block walls.
Yeah.
In our home, so you have to drill that concrete, and then you sink in an anchor. And it's seeing him first time ever holding a drill at 16 years old, 15 years old at the time. It's like it's a whole different thing compared to when I was 15. I knew how to, use those tools at that time. But I think it's a great experience for you and your son to be able to do something like that. But then it's also a getaway. It's a good getaway for people to reset the mind, get in wilderness, and just not think about the bullshit that you deal with during the week.
It is interesting.
Driving up here, seeing the Tennessee mountains makes me it pushes me so much more towards that. Just looking in the woods and being like, God, that could just be me doing nothing. Doing nothing.
Went camping was just like an overnight for whitewater rafting. But it was still, that's like when you get thrown in that water, it's just a different world. Mm-hmm. You're like, whoa.
You think about nothing but survival.
Yeah. I'm done.
Yeah.
It was wild.
It's different than going to the river and floating it down a tube and drinking beer.
Right.
I was the first person that got thrown off the old inflatable raft of the whitewater rafting. It was pretty funny. I think it was like 30 seconds in, and he was headed straight towards a rock. And I was like,
abandoned ship.
what's going on here? And then the front of the boat hits the fucking rock, and the I don't know, it's the boat. It folded in half, and I was in the back, and I left the raft.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It was hilarious.
I've never been whitewater rafting. I've only floated down a river.
I would do
done
it.
that.
It's you know what? It's surprisingly not as scary as I thought it would be, but there are some moments when you're like, there's a lot of vulnerability in here. Where
It's that risk reward assessment.
Do you ever look at everybody and be like, all right, who are we eating first?
no. There was some calm waters and everybody stopped, and there was a rock that was about, it might have been 10 to 12 feet, but I'm going to say it's 15 to 20 feet, where everybody like jumped off. They're like, hey, everybody climb up and jump off this rock. It's
People you never met before?
Well, yeah, it was a bachelor party thing, but
Okay. I
I didn't know a lot of the people, but 10 people in front of me went, and I was like, okay, these dummies can do it. I can do it. I was like, I'm not the guy that, I don't take a lot of risks like that. Like, I was like, I'll just jump off this fucking rock.
Maybe risk assessment is your job.
That's insurance.
Right.
It's risk reward.
Right.
So
you walk up and you're like, hey, I'm Tommy. Are you a doctor? Hey, I'm Tommy. What is your skill set?
no, just like, look, I said, look at all these other people haven't died. I'll be all right.
Right.
Just don't want to break my neck.
Where'd you do this? Ohio River?
West Virginia.
Yeah, New Gully.
Yeah.
Whatever they call that thing. But you know what? It's super. My boss that I currently have is paralyzed from the diaphragm down. And he got in a car wreck when he was like 18 years old, I think, maybe 20, 21. Flipped the truck, whatever, and he tells me about how it was like that cab was crushed.
Really?
And he woke up to, like, cops telling him, don't move, don't move, don't move. And he's like, I'm not moving, or I'm trying. And it's just a unique story. And to see the dude now, it's just, and he's still paralyzed from the diaphragm down.
Mm-hmm.
But the dude plays softball.
Really?
He does rugby. There's like all kinds of like wheelchair Olympics / he hunts.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can see that.
A lot of times from his car.
Oh.
Well, at least this year he got 2 deer from his car.
Is that legal?
I don't know. What are you going to tell him?
I don't know if that's legal.
It's hilarious.
I don't know.
Is what it is.
That's something.
What are you gonna do, sir? You're supposed to be in your wheelchair,
Right.
In your man-powered motorized vehicle,
Right.
Actually, no, it's not, because it'd be a batter. He has a battery-powered track chair that has like tracks on it.
Sure.
What are you gonna do? He's like, I was just waiting for some people, and all of a sudden I saw a deer, and I just said I had my gun loaded, and I just shot it.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to be so many feet off the roadway before you...
I'm sure he was off the road.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying he's driving down 161. Just saying, he's probably...
Yeah, I don't know all of the
It's very
legalities surrounding that particular scenario.
But it's just somebody living their best life, regardless of what they have on.
Yeah, I could see
Placed
that.
in front of them.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Hmm.
Living your best life.
That's a difficult task sometimes.
Despite the cards you've been drawn.
It's weird. It's very cliche to say, but sorry, I wasn't part of this conversation.
Okay.
I had to go to the bathroom. But
Cliche.
Cliche.
I don't know.
Cliche. To be like, you got to stop and smell the roses. You really do. You really, really do need to stop and smell the roses sometimes, even if it's during a task that you're working on. You got to be able to respect what you're doing and just understand it. Yeah, I'm about 5 beers deep, so 6 beers deep, and I don't drink, so it's kind of affecting me. What were you guys talking about?
Who's going to win that Rose Bowl?
I don't really care about football.
But what do you think?
Okay.
Ohio State's going to crush Washington.
I think so.
It's going to be the saddest Rose Bowl ever.
I think so.
What do you think about Urban Meyer leaving? Called it at the beginning of the year.
Did you?
Yeah.
Really?
I told Megan, I was like, he's gone. He's done after this. After the whole scandal bullshit that, he had to go through.
It's definitely interesting because I've heard bits and pieces that when he left Florida, maybe there was some...
So I talked to a guy, he was like, where are you from? And I
Yeah.
was like, I'm from Ohio. And he's like, what are you like Buckeyes? And I'm like, oh, they're great. I love them. They're awesome. And he's like, talking about how he's from Florida. He's been in Florida for like 50 years. And he's like, yeah, after he left Florida, there's a lot of skeletons that came out of the closet about him there.
I thought I heard something about when he left Florida, he left under some kind of medical. I need to, because I got these issues.
He's got some, some.
He had heart stuff going on.
Now he's got some other...
He's got a cyst in his brain.
His brain.
I don't know exactly, but this is from what I hear. He's got a cyst in his brain that, affects his concentration. It gives him a lot of headaches and things like that. And even during like the Michigan game, like you saw him, leaning over and just trying to like rub his head like it's hurting so bad. I mean, even it's like leave. Yes, be with your family. Like you have a great career. You've done amazing things with multiple freaking universities. You can walk away from it and be happy. But then
It's just college football.
Yeah.
There will be another coach that does
It's
the
like
same.
Tressel. When was the last time you thought about Tressel? He was a fantastic coach.
Sure.
He was awesome. And then he left during all of that bullshit that happened to him.
But they got tattoos.
It's so
It's menial. It's just a figurehead.
So dumb.
That ball club is gonna be the same, regardless of whose command it's under. Let's say,
Right.
you know what I mean? Because the college, they won't let it not.
Well, they'll try not to, but
Right.
I mean, I genuinely think that he probably... Everybody wants to go, oh, what happened? Was he sleeping with a cheerleader? Like somebody's always looking for like this smoking gun.
Right.
And I'm like, perhaps after 6-7 years of trying to be the top program in the nation and going through all the stress of doing that and recruiting and you see your kids growing up and you really put the program in a really good spot and you've got this medical issue and, you're kind of tired of recruiting and you're not sure what you want to do, and then they get that whole suspension thing going on. And from what I hear, he wasn't too happy with that whole procedure and that whole handling of that because people say, oh, he's the highest paid employee in the state of Ohio. Yeah, but you know what? There's board members
Blah,
that
blah,
control
blah.
all this
Right.
stuff.
What's he make?
$7 million. But the board members still control hiring, firing, suspending. They have the power. And it's it's higher dollar people that control donations to the university. High profile
How much do
Ohio
they pull
business
in?
men and women.
How much is Ohio State athletics? Not even Ohio State football.
Well, no, just the university as a whole. The endowment of everything is billions upon billions of dollars.
Yeah.
And Ohio State football is a large portion of that attractiveness to younger students.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you could probably never really pay a head coach of the university what they're actually worth, per se.
Mm-hmm.
So, in some ways, they're underpaid. But I think the idea that it's just there's some smoking gun, and it's just like he can't be a man and a father and a husband. And
Right.
I pulled in $7 million, $5 million for these last 5-6 years, and I'm just like, I
Walk away
got
from it.
$18 million in the bank, and I don't want to deal with this stress. Can I take on an administrative position and just hang out?
Just chill.
Yeah.
Sure.
And if I got an illness, and I need to get it taken care of, I can. Maybe I want to hang out with my wife for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see it. He won't leave Ohio.
No, he's already said he's going to teach.
Yeah, but even then, so you look at a lot of pro athletes like NHL. So I follow NHL a lot more than I do football and basketball and things like that. The NHL, you look at a lot of the players that have been here in Columbus, they still have homes here even though they've been traded. Like Rick Nash, for instance.
Oh,
Everybody
really?
knows who Rick Nash
Yeah.
is.
Trader.
He's not a traitor.
Trader.
At the time, he was like, we suck.
Mm-hmm.
We've been sucking. I need to move forward in my career because I'm at the peak of my career right now. I need to go somewhere else.
Did he get a Stanley Cup?
I don't blame him for it.
Did he get a Stanley Cup?
He hasn't. He
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
have- He
Should've
went to New
stayed.
York. They're in the finals when he went over there. He had it. They didn't pull the trigger and they didn't get it done. But he still has a home here. His brother and his family still have homes here in Columbus. They love here in Columbus. They love the city of Columbus. There's a lot of pro athletes that see the value here.
Is he Canadian?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's like, it's a warm weather climate.
20-degree differences, man, makes a big difference.
Hey, dog, Pax, get out of there.
He's eating all the shit.
Dirty dog.
All the shit from the cat litter.
Yeah, I gotta watch him when he comes down here.
Give Nukem a kiss.
No, that's
Give
not.
him a kiss. After he just ate a cat turd.
Oh, sorry, guys.
But Ohio, Columbus in general, is a beautiful place.
It's
to,
blossoming.
to
The
be
Crew.
here.
The Crew. Have you seen The Crew?
And
Crew
that's the thing.
Stadium?
I don't think it's enough credit. I don't really follow the Crew.
Did you hear about the new stadium?
No.
Oh,
I thought they went to Houston. I thought they were
No.
leaving.
No.
they got him. They basically stopped them from doing that. Now they're going to build that new stadium right by the new Clipper Stadium, right by Nationwide Arena.
Hashtag
Where-
save the crew.
Yeah.
Where was the place that they were going to put a racetrack?
Cooper Stadium.
Cooper Stadium.
Yeah.
Is that where they put it?
No, it's right beside the
Right next to Huntington Park?
Correct.
Where the fuck are you putting it?
Yeah.
at?
You don't think there's nothing there, but there's space.
There is tons of space back there.
Really?
Yep.
It's right by my work.
Man, Columbus is growing. Columbus,
It's
like
crazy.
downtown Columbus, the arena district
It's developing.
is beautiful.
Developing.
I would love to live down there. I really would. It'd be hard because again, going back to the whole woods thing, I'd love to have space for the dogs to run. But my wife really likes the city life.
Yeah.
You know,
There's
to
a
do
good
something.
there's a good city life down there.
Oh yeah.
It's blossoming. That's one of those things that with Nationwide that I've learned is how much of that arena district that they've really built on their own.
Mm-hmm.
And how they bought that old penitentiary and how they really kind of continued to just build upon that. I'm like, man.
Have you heard the stories of like the ghost stories? Of sitting
Yeah,
on the
sure.
Penn
I remember when I was a kid and they were talking about tearing it down, and then, I go down there today, and my wife and I don't remember what it was, but I was like, wait, is that a train?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a train going under the parking garage that we parked in.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is just like, it's still an old city, but they've just built on top of it. And they're like the Arena District and Huntington Park and the new Crew Place, and they've got Express Live or whatever promo. I don't even know what it is these days, but
a lot of pride in that area. And I love it. I really love that. That's one thing you talk to like John Tortorella, the Columbus Blue Jackets coach. He's been in New York. He won a Stanley Cup in Tampa. Like, he's been forever. Vancouver, but he got fired from Vancouver for like a year. But he even says about Columbus, he's like, this is one of the best cities I've ever worked for. But just because the pride that's here.
Such a good balance of so much, I think. I mean, if you want to live in the suburbs, you can live in the suburbs. And guess what? You could do it relatively affordably. Mm-hmm. People don't know what it's like in Chicago.
Right.
What's the median here? 250,000?
Probably less than that.
Really? Yeah.
Look it up.
It's not bad.
On your antisocial device.
So wait, do you guys have like a Google Home? This is the talk of today between me and my wife and
I have 3
family.
Alexas.
You have Alexa?
Yeah.
Do you not freak out about that?
Not really. I mean, I really don't talk about anything or do anything that I would be worried that they would listen to be quite honest.
Right. I don't have anything to hide either, but I don't like it. I just don't. I think maybe it's the aspect of me being like steak knife, steak knife, steak knife. And then like I get nothing but steak knife ads on my phone. Like that kind of drives me nuts. So, but I'm not worried about people listening to me because I know it's not like some NSA guy listening to me specifically when I talk. It's going through an algorithm that's on a server and it's running through its own little process, but it still for some reason just bugs me.
Till that one time you say that one key word.
Yeah, exactly.
And you get flipped onto the live review.
And then you get this little check flag on this home, the say your number is 222 dot da 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 da. It's got a little check flag.
Did you say you wanted
next
to
to
buy 12-inch dildos?
Well, then you get another ad for 12-inch dildos, maybe 14-inch. But it goes back to like you say some stupid key word in context of making a joke of something, and then it's like you get flagged, and I don't know. It's not like it goes down to like.
Is it bad?
It doesn't go down to like the police, and they're like,
you have what?
Something about
is it bad? I have the camera on my laptop covered up with tape.
No, it's not bad.
All right, good.
You're just paranoid.
No?
I get it. I'm not saying you're a bad person for it. I haven't done it because if they want to see me, then they can see me doing that. But that's fine. That's whatever.
We have Alexa, and I'm pretty sure it's unplugged.
Yeah. Megan wants it. She wants it for some reason, and I don't know why. I'm like, what's the big benefit? You'd be like, okay, Google, okay, Alexa, play Bob Marley, blah 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 blah, and it plays.
It's great in the kitchen. I'm washing dishes. I'm like, I want to hear some music.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I'm like, okay, Billy Bob, play Bob Marley.
Right. If you have kids, you're like, hey, play Bob.
And the kids love it too. Unfortunately, too much sometimes.
Right.
Alexa, what's your favorite animal?
Right. Yeah, it becomes a game, or, Yeah. That's like same thing when we bring the dogs. A lot of our nieces and nephews that are younger, all you hear is the word Albie. Mm-hmm. His name's Albert, so Albie is short. And he says, Albie. That's all you hear. It's the same thing, I guess, it would be with like Alexa. Once you learn it, it's like a fun little game.
I do like the
Alexa, sing me a song.
Well, there's the whole Apple privacy thing. Like Apple's pretty focused on not invading the privacy, and how they keep a lot of that stuff separate and try to sandbox it from other people.
Right.
And there's some of that I really find admirable, even though it's not personally preferential to me. I don't really have, but there's something that if I had a Pixel or any kind of a Google phone, I'd be like, oh, well,
I know this damn thing listens to me.
Yeah. And either you know it and you accept it, or
right. And I guess I don't have a big problem with it. Again, I have nothing in my closet to hide. I have no what do you call it? Skeletons. I have no skeletons in my closet. Whatever.
But once the Russians hear it,
what do they sell me vodka?
I'm just messing with you, man.
So the home, the Columbus metro area, the home median is $234,000.
Okay.
So I wasn't far off.
No,
Wasn't far off.
that's higher than what I would have thought.
It's gone up.
Ooh.
Is that?
It's gone up quite a bit
Okay.
within
Recently.
the last 2 years.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
gone up
'Cause
quite a
the
bit.
market's been hot.
Yeah, because this is a growing area.
Yeah, I actually got my tax assessment finally.
Really.
Yeah.
You got to pay more.
You know, Amazon kind of had a little teaser here when they were talking about bringing a corporate
Mhm.
office here. That has an effect.
Sure.
It has an effect on home
Sure.
prices and everything else. But what did they choose? Virginia, I think that's what it
Shoot.
was.
Instead of one location on the East Coast, they decided to have 2 locations on the East Coast.
You know, there's
Neither
one
of which were
opportunity
here.
that I got an email about
Oh.
Amazon's home delivery service, how they're pulling out of USPS, and they're going to start to try to do their own, not really with them being like Amazon corporate. It's like how FedEx does it.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy in with a franchise.
Yeah.
You can buy in with an Amazon franchise to
heard
be able to
about
do a
that.
delivery. And you know how much the minimum price is to buy in? Let me say this. You know what a FedEx minimum is to buy in with a liquidation, like a liquid asset amount?
FedEx is probably crazy.
FedEx is a $500 liquid asset, $500,000 liquid
Okay,
asset
yeah,
amount,
yeah.
right? And it's like $100,000 to get your first
Yep.
route.
Yeah.
Amazon, $30,000.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
They have so much buying power with the trucks, like Ford
Mhm.
Transits,
Mhm.
that they can get you into a Transit for like $10,000.
Yeah.
But they want you to do a minimum of 20 trucks. So it kind of they want you
Wait,
to,
what?
but you can get into it very cheap. But they want you to have running about 20 trucks on routes. 20 trucks doesn't sound like a lot because there's a lot of routes.
20 trucks times $30,000 though.
No. We're saying the minimum would be a $30,000. So you would buy 1 or 2 trucks, right?
Mhm.
You need to have at least $30,000 in liquid assets
Okay.
because they don't want you to go belly up
Right.
the first year you're
Right.
running this thing. So you buy a truck for $10,000, you buy another one for $10,000. They basically the minimum is getting
you're
in.
$250.
Minimum you're getting in with one truck is $30,000.
Right.
But even then, though, so your net income is anywhere between $100,000 to $300,000 on a $20 or 20 truck basis. They send you to Amazon, whatever, California or wherever it is.
Amazon University.
Yeah, they do. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. They don't teach you how to do. Majority of what they teach you is how to be a leader. How to manage other drivers and
Okay.
do that. Then they teach you logistics, but it's a
Right.
3-week course.
Interesting.
3-week course. I thought it was very interesting. I'm actually really interested in doing something like that.
Do a little delivery fleet.
I'm going to cancel my Prime again.
You canceled again?
I'm going to.
No, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I got it for
That's
2
$100
months.
a year.
Yeah, but for what?
Do you ever
So I
buy
can-
anything on Amazon?
I do.
Do you buy anything
I do.
in that 2-day service? Do you know
Oh.
how much a 2-day service would cost you normally?
Right.
$45, $50 for
Hey,
something
Mark.
that's.
Let's talk about finances here real quick.
Oh boy.
You know what? If you don't get two-day free delivery, you know what you're not compelled to do is buy it. You don't want it that way.
Ooh.
I don't see it that way.
Really?
You don't.
Consumerism at its best.
I'm just saying. If you don't have free 2-day delivery, you know what I have is free delivery after $25 purchase.
Maybe I don't need that XYZ product.
But it comes in 10 to 14 days. How bad do I need it?
It depends on your schedule. It depends on what you need. Like this time of year,
Yeah,
that Prime
exactly.
account is
So what do I do?
perfect.
I buy 2 months of it for a monthly fee of $13.99. So I spend
Oh, they
20
do monthly fee at $13.99, huh?
do
I didn't know that.
$26, bro. $26 a year. Then cancel.
That's a lot better than.
Yeah, but if you're going into it saying the only time I'm ever going to buy from Amazon is during the holiday season.
Correct.
If you're that way, that you are, then yes,
Yep.
you're benefiting better. That
Do you buy?
Man.
Do you buy outside of the holiday season enough from Prime to justify
Absolutely.
$70?
stupid shit.
That's
Fish
the problem.
food?
Is that I used to, and I'd buy stuff I don't need.
Did you just
No,
say
it's
fish
not.
food?
Yeah, fish food.
Why can't you just go to your local pet store?
Who needs
One.
a fish?
What do you mean? One, it's cheaper
Are you eating the fish?
to buy it from Amazon.
Are you eating fish?
I can buy a 3-pack of fish food for about $20 cheaper than I could if I went to my local store, which I know is terrible to say because you're supposed to support your local
Sure.
stores. But in that bitch is
Have you
at my house in 2 days.
Have you allocated that additional $70 for the remaining
But that's not
10
just
months
the fish
of
food.
Prime that
That's
you
not
paid?
the fish food. I mean, it comes with anything else.
So you order a lot off of Amazon Prime.
Yeah, you mean Amazon?
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I mean we can go through my orders in the last year if you want. We can actually compare it.
Yeah.
I think there's a benefit to it.
Okay.
I really do. They have a great thing. The only thing they've exploited the shit out of the post office.
Yeah.
They have got them down to running off of pennies, but it also is keeping them afloat.
But it's volume.
It's keeping them
It's
afloat.
volume.
And
Right.
Without Amazon, I'll be honest, the post office would be gone.
Probably.
Listen, the post office can charge what they want, and the beauty
To
of
the
it
point
is,
where they're not working anymore
yeah,
because no one's using
well,
them.
and guess what happens? Then Amazon whores out people that want to pay $30,000 for a truck, so they can deliver.
$10,000 for a truck, by the way.
I just-
30 grand.
I know.
liquid
I'm just
assets.
kidding. You gotta have liquid assets.
You just got to do the math. It's worth it, says Prime.
So you're a firm believer that it's not worth it.
I'm a firm believer that it's
But
not
it's-
for me.
It's not. Yeah, okay.
Because
so
it
it's
compels
your,
me to purchase more than I necessarily need. And listen, I'm willing to throw, like, I'll spend $20 on anything. But the moment it's like 25, I'm like, I'm gonna have to think about that.
Yeah.
When it was $79, I was like, whatever. It's like, to me, it's like $80 divided over a year. I'm like, okay, I could lose this and be okay with it. $99, I'm like, damn, this is pushing the envelope. At $120, no thanks.
Is it 120? I don't see. That's the problem. I don't even know what
It's
it
a buck
is.
and a quarter, isn't it?
bitches on auto pay for me. So
Yeah, that's the problem, is that nobody thinks about it.
Exactly.
All right. So the last few days, I have ordered Ozium air spray. I've ordered that. I've ordered two
You didn't eat it.
very large dog crates because we have to put the dogs in the dog crates at my father-in-law's place when we're not home.
Sure.
Very large dog crates. So
That
they're
you couldn't purchase maybe secondhand on Craigslist?
Or Facebook.
secondhand crazy. Who's got friggin' time for me to do that right now?
Oh.
I had these bitches ordered,
Oh.
delivered to that home within a couple of days, and they're there. So they weigh at least, because I took them upstairs, at least 40 pounds a piece, 35 pounds, 30 pounds each. Imagine the freight on that. Just that.
Wah, wah.
My wife's Christmas gifts, I ordered that. Those all came
I see a
through.
lot of dog crates on Craigslist for free.
Yeah, they just want, hey, man, if you
I
just
don't
come
care.
pick it up, you can have it for free.
Sometimes, whatever. There's a lot of things I
What
look
he's
on
trying
Craigslist.
to say is he has more money than time.
That's not true. That's not true.
That's what I heard.
That's not true.
That's what I heard.
I look on used markets a lot.
You just said
for
who
a lot
has
of
time
things
for
me.
that.
For dog crates, I don't have time for that
Right.
shit. I will order that on Amazon and just have it delivered. I took advantage of the SD cards. Granted, they don't weigh much, but I took advantage of their Black Friday sales. They're normally $199 a piece for an SD card.
What size are they?
128 gig.
Okay.
128, and it's the 95 megs per second.
Micro Center had those for free. 32 gig.
32. What's
how
30?
Much, how much was
What
the
does
shipping?
32 gig get you on a 45 megapixel camera? It gets you like 10 photos.
Well, hey.
So anyways, I took advantage of that. So I got a whole bunch of those. I ordered like 10 of those because I have a bunch of cameras with photographers to be able to do it. Whatever.
All I hear is baller.
No, that's not true at all. At all. I ordered a dog bed for my parents' dog,
Another
Graham.
dog-
He
another dog
delivered
thing.
that, yes.
Mhm.
Hard drives.
Home Depot has dog beds. They were like $17
Here's another thing, like gum. I ordered gum.
at the Speedway you get gas at.
Yeah, it's $1.99 for a pack of gum.
What?
For one pack of gum.
What happened to 25-cent Wrigley? Five
No,
stick.
fuck that. That's horrible stuff. $1.99 for a Dentine Ice gum, right? Normally for a pack.
Okay.
I ordered 9 of them, 9 packs for $5.
Okay.
Save money there. It's shipped.
How many
2
orders
days.
did you place total?
Dude, you have no idea how much I've bought off of Amazon. And I'm not the only one. There's billions of people. That's
Apparently,
why,
I'm just not
that's why
utilizing
Betos is
Amazon
like
to
the
its
most-
fullest potential.
Well, I had Amazon. I'm just looking at my stuff. When I had diapers delivered, it was beautiful. So diapers and wipes delivered on a monthly basis.
Right.
On
So
a
what are you
subscribe.
bitching about?
Well, I don't buy diapers anymore.
So, but it was a benefit to your lifestyle at that point in time. Correct?
$99 a year. That's my limit.
Period.
$99. So
So
they're
he's
like
willing to
they're
throw
like
away.
109, and you're like,
Pretty much.
It's got to be more than that now.
I mean, once they get to $200, I might think about it. I might be like, you know what? Maybe I do need to shop a little bit more local. I get that, but I'm in the service industry, somewhat.
Bro, it's $119 a year. It started at $59.
Started at 59, right?
And that's my problem.
And they
is,
started at
hey,
like a
hey,
$300 million company,
hey,
and now they're
how
like
about-
a 25
How about I
billion
not want
or
your video
more.
service that's shitty anyways?
Oh, it's not.
Oh, they have
it's
a
the
shitty
Grand
ser-
Tour. Season 3's getting ready to
I
release.
don't want it.
I don't watch any of the Amazon video stuff.
How much is
Gymkhana Chronicles just was released.
How much of it is?
Pull the mic away a little
I
bit.
don't want it.
There you go.
I don't want it.
Really?
Can I not pay for that?
Well,
I just want free shipping. 2-day shipping.
I really like their
I'm just
video
saying.
service. I really like some of the content.
Why can't I just have 2 days
I've
shipping?
ordered so much from Amazon, it won't even let me search back.
Prime shipping
Sounds
only,
like
please?
You have a problem that you might.
No, it's
need
not
to
a
go
problem.
to
It's something like, hey, I need this.
Amazoners
tell me, but
Anonymous.
don't you
I'm
want
going to do
Prime?
it. I'm going to order it.
Don't you want Prime Music?
Amazoners Anonymous over
Don't
here.
I don't
Don't
need
you
Prime
want-
Music. I don't need Prime Video.
But you're paying for it.
Prime Video's nice.
It's a
But
benefit.
you're paying for it.
It's a benefit. It's
No.
it's a perk. It's an amenity.
Something you buy.
You buy a
Correct.
condo on the beach, you get the pool, you get the stupid bullshit that comes with it.
But what if you could
Just
buy a
kidding.
condo without the beach
It would be half the cost.
and without the pool?
That's bullshit. You're never going to find that.
What do you want the
Sure you
condo
will.
for?
Oh yeah.
What do you want the condo for?
Every condo has a damn amenity list.
Bruh, I only want Prime for the 2-day shipping. I get a video service that I don't want
kind
to
of-
pay for.
I kind of agree that Amazon should silo its offerings.
How many people have we lost talking about Amazon for so fucking long?
Listen, Netflix doesn't ask me if I want 2-day free shipping. They're
Because
just
it's
like-
Netflix.
Just increased its prices too, didn't it? It's like
You know what?
17 or something.
because they're still underpaying. They're also undercharging.
I believe. Yeah.
100%.
YouTube videos, what, $40 a month?
I've got that.
Do you?
$40
YouTube
a month
TV?
for YouTube TV.
Yeah.
It's $35 for me.
What's
but-
Is
Red?
it?
What's YouTube Red?
I have no idea.
No, I pay like $10 a month for
you
YouTube
should
Red, and I
cancel
don't
that.
have any. I don't have any advertisements, anything when I do that.
You get no ads on the.
I get no ads on any videos.
I haven't got that yet.
But I don't get any. I don't know if YouTube's coming out with like their own line series of shows, like
I know,
Netflix
but
does.
do you have
post
YouTube TV?
videos?
What's that?
I've been looking into YouTube, making money on YouTube,
You got to be able to. You got to be a creator.
monetizing videos.
Yeah.
Oh,
Gotta
100%.
I have a minimum of 10,000 subscribers or 10,000 views. I forget.
Okay then.
There's like stipulations now. All of a sudden, this just happened in April of this year.
We're talking. You remember Todd Stinson,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
buddy. We were talking to him. He came actually over for Christmas today.
Nice.
It was very nice. And he had created a bunch of videos when we were like riding dirt bikes
Sure.
and stuff like that out in the Hocking Hills, and he had posted a bunch of this stuff, but he had added a bunch of music that's you're not supposed to add.
Copywritten.
Yeah, it's copyrighted.
Yeah.
And they told him, hey, if you don't monetize this, that's fine. But you've had 8 million views on this one video.
Holy crap.
He has more than one video now that has multiple million views. But he can't make money on it because he used, AC/DC, blah, 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 blah. And my brother told him today, he's like, look, YouTube has like free music. If you need to add it. He could have made probably $50,000 to $100,000 on this stupid video, but since he used that video or that
You guys
music,
know Mike Wagon? I remember one time, YouTube's infancy, and he was telling me, like, yeah, I do some. He did like RC cars, and he made like a track in the backyard. He's like,
Right.
it pays my truck payment.
yeah,
I mean, and it's just a couple 100,000 hits. I think he was talking about people in Europe, in these landlocked countries. They love these little RC things because they can't buy these big old
it's
Tacomas.
the niche market.
Yeah.
And they just watch the shit out of it.
You got to be able to be a good creator. You got to be able to create good content.
Well, they just did Ryan's toy reviews. I saw a little article posted. These parents just like pump their children, and The kid just plays with toys and they produce all
People
these
watch
things.
it.
Yeah.
Well, kids watch.
Guess how
it.
much he made?
I don't know what we're talking about.
Brian's toy reviews made $22 million last year.
Holy
I
shit!
believe it.
Your local Columbus, Ohio guy is Roman Atwood.
Yes.
You know his name.
Yep.
He's
I do
worth
know
like
Roman.
$30 million.
I don't
now.
know his name.
Roman
I don't know
also
who that is.
did a YouTube video with Coyote Petersen, who I had on my podcast.
Yeah, dude. I was talking about you to my brother about that. And my brother subscribed to Coyote.
Yeah.
He watches him all the time. I think that's amazing that you had him on here, dude.
I'm so happy. Because he's such a nice guy. Like you meet some people, and he just signed a huge deal with Animal Planet,
That's awesome.
and it's just like he could not have been nicer. And the people that
It was a
work
good
for him, and
podcast. It was a really good podcast.
I love that. That dude is so cool, and he's just like, yeah. I mean, it's just like selling, and he's his own brand.
Mhm.
You know, he knows what he can and can't do, and he has to kind of hold that line. I didn't get Nathaniel Peterson, which is his real name. I got Coyote Petersen because that's who he is,
Mhm.
and that's who he cares about. And it was super cool.
It was awesome. It was good to listen to, and because I didn't know anything about him before.
Yeah,
And then I listened to your podcast, and then now I follow him, and I've watched all of his YouTube videos, and it's amazing, man. It's awesome.
he just did the Executioner Wasp.
I haven't seen that yet.
It's like the largest paper wasp in Costa Rica, or like all of.
Dude's got balls.
Well, no, there was someone who developed a pain sting index.
I've heard of this.
Yeah, that was insect stings and what's the worst one. There's millipedes, there's bullet ants, and he went through the list.
I watched some Netflix thing about some dude that did this, and he would take he'd take an animal and
Yeah,
Sting
pretty much.
himself.
Yeah, that's Coyote.
no.
Well, and that's not Coyote specifically. Coyote got this list
Okay.
and was like, I want to experience this and YouTube it.
It's pretty amazing.
And yeah, so the most
My
recent
luck.
one that just dropped 2 days ago, he had we talked about it on the podcast. He was holding it. He did it like a year and a half ago, and he finally released it. And basically, it's the most painful sting he's ever experienced, and he felt it for a full week.
Oh.
Like the sting that. It's just part of it is entertainment,
Right.
and he knows it. But then part of it's like, okay, the sting's done. It's been an hour. It's been 2 hours. I don't want to do this anymore.
My brother and I were joking about that when we were talking about him today. Was like, what kind of twisted, sick, like I love pain so much.
Yeah.
You got to be able to do that. But like my luck, if I ever started that, like I'm going to do this YouTube channel and I'm going to do these things with these animals and I'm going to do this, pain test of different types, and the first one I try probably kills me. It's like, oh, it hurts so bad.
Well, because it's funny, because it's like First We Feast. Have you ever seen the one where they eat the hot chicken wings and they go up the line of the chicken wings? And he's doing like a 10-question interview with 10 chicken wings, and they have spicy sauce that goes up the Scoville scale. It's kind of a similar
Okay.
aspect,
Right.
and-
You get up to the ghost pepper, and
yeah,
it's like,
and then like do an extra dab on the hottest one, and you're like, okay. And then he's asking you a question like, hey, Nick, tell me about your first encounter with women. How did it feel? And you're like, what do I can't really talk about it right now. But
it hurt just as good as this.
yeah, it's a great
Interesting.
setting for just like a different take on talking to people. Put them in pain, and you kind of get some more realistic.
So to circle back around, if you want to create a YouTube channel, do something on what you do best, which is work on vehicles, work on cars.
How are you going to tell him what he does best?
I think that's what he does best.
Okay.
Well, and
You do something for a living.
I talked to a couple people about that, and that was something else that came up. Oh, you like to work on cars, huh?
Right, but when you create it, you have to create it in a good sense of like framing a subject,
Yeah.
talking a subject. It has to be very good audio.
There's a guy out there, Eric the Car Guy, does that on YouTube. He's pretty known.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's like I don't know if I want to really dabble into that kind of thing. I think I would rather document a hobby.
that is a hobby. I'm sorry.
For some people, no, it's their
No,
profession.
I know. I get it. I'm just joking.
Working on a vehicle, that's their profession, and he happens to
Right.
video blog about that.
Mm-hmm.
You think he just does that now, though?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, it's the same thing. Like, there's people that are paid professional interviewers.
Right.
Mhm.
I watch a lot of like auto racing, drifting.
Mhm.
Couple guys down in Florida, Orlando area.
They make good content.
They make
They make interesting content that you want to watch it.
I don't know how interesting it really is, though. I mean, I watch it because it's interesting to me. You know, he's constantly doing different wheels. He's testing different tires. He's constantly changing stuff on his vehicle. For me, it's the turning of the wrenches to make the car better that intrigues me.
And to most people, what I guess I say when it comes to creating good content is it's not like,
Yeah.
it's not bad audio. It's not, horrible camera angles. It's things like that. It's to keep you intrigued
Right.
in learning the thing that you're interested in. That's the only thing I say.
I thought about doing it with autocross, just because of the huge community that autocross is.
Yeah.
There's not much in the way of documenting it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though, is it's when you document that, when you create it and you want to be able to share that thing, it's sharing your experience with
Right.
people. That's what they'll follow.
But I'm thinking maybe I vlog about the builds, whether my car, whether Jay's car, whether somebody else's car.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the build, the week leading up to an event,
Mm-hmm.
going to the event, the actual event.
But people
Walking
also
the
want to hear the
course.
conversations. What are you thinking about right after the
Talking to people,
The
Interactions with people,
Yeah.
things like that. And it has to be consistent.
Right.
It has to be consistent as far as quality, too. Of being,
Figure out a format to kind of not really rigorously follow, but just a general idea of every time I do this at this event, do XYZ.
I would think part of the challenge
Takes
is
time
that 10 hours of video equals 20 minutes of good footage.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It does. You still have to edit it.
Yeah.
You still have to produce it. You still have to create it and post it and do that whole thing. It takes time. It's not easy. I watch a guy that lives in Minnesota. I was talking to my brother about this. I watch him. I mean, he posts stuff, maybe once a week.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a cabin in Minnesota, and he lives in Minneapolis, and he drives up to this cabin every so often, and it's stupid. But it's the same thing. It's very consistent. He goes up there, he's chopping firewood, he's cooking pork steaks, he's doing the same shit over and over. But it's intriguing to me. I love it. I love that life. I dream about that lifestyle of
Right.
simplicity and being able to do nothing but just relax and be in a cabin and shit like that. And people follow that. And I'm one of them that follow that. So people that are interested in autocross and they want to be able to follow. Maybe you're not the most interesting person in the world.
Right.
I'm not the most interesting
Sure.
person in the world, but if you can create content that's interesting,
Sure.
people will absolutely follow
Sure.
that. You monetize the shit, you'll make a lot of money.
Maybe not.
Maybe not, but it's worth a try.
Right.
It's worth a try. I've always thought about that too. I'm like, what if I just vlogged our entire trip up to Columbus?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a person that needs to be in front of the camera. That's
Yeah.
just not me. But here's the thing: is some of the people that I follow on YouTube, you never see their face.
Really.
No, like this guy it's called Joe and Zach Survival.
Mm-hmm.
If you look it up, it's funny. It's a very simple type of thing, but he never really is in front of the camera. It's more of just, he's like, well, I mean, it's so simple. He's like, hey, I just got up here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to chop some firewood and blah, 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 blah. And that's it. And he films it. He puts a camera over there and he does this, does that. And, sometimes it doesn't have to be like Nick Nukem, the character that you're trying to follow.
Right.
Like we talk about Roman Atwood. He's a character. Like he is a character. He holds the camera out to film himself.
Yeah.
He's not.
A lot of the vloggers that I've watched on there, that's the same thing.
Yeah, you're watching it because of him.
Sure.
For you, it would be more of you're watching it because of the autocross or the educational experience that you would be able to distribute to your subscribers.
Interesting.
There's a lot of guys, Joe Robernet or whatever his name is, I forget. He's like a bushcraft. He goes out and he does survival things in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
He goes out for a week and he's got this, and this, and he teaches you how to survive for a week in the wilderness with just those few items.
It's so the future.
Films the entire films the entire experience that he has, and it's fun to watch. Don't know why, but it is.
Right, exactly.
Don't
I
know
watched
why
this
it
guy,
is.
Connor Ward, who manicures a lawn to look like a golf course.
Yes,
You know Connor?
I've seen stuff like
Yeah.
that. I don't know for him for sure, but yes, I've watched that.
Yeah.
And I'm always intrigued by it. I'm like, damn, I need to do that to my lawn.
Because that's why I went to a rotary cutter on my grass. It's a manual freaking mower. But I just love that stuff, man. It's just like, we have, gas engine lawnmowers, but I'm like, why? When I can just use this Scott's $100 mower that's real and I sharpen blades myself. It's manually powered. It's like, and I don't have a lot of lawn.
Right.
It's not that hard. I mean, I'm not riding a riding lawnmower, but like there's like a craft, and I feel like I'm growing a product.
I apologize. I have to go to the restroom again. I don't drink, so
you
it's
don't
like
have to tell people, Mark.
it's like a short bladder, small little bladder, little Florida bladder.
Hey, we'll get you a little diaper there, buddy. Little diaper. Little diaper. It's getting late, man.
It's all good.
You doing all right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You gonna start creating autocross vids?
I've been thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've got
Dude,
got a couple URLs that I pay for that don't do anything except point to, a WordPress blog site that hasn't been active and still, for some ungodly reason, gets tons of views a month.
I'd love to see Garrett's documentation of introduction to autocross.
I think it would be interesting.
Yeah. How does one evolve throughout a season?
Yeah.
I did this, did that, didn't do this. I hate this. I hate changing tires.
Yeah.
It's hot. I'm hungry. They keep hitting the cone. I mean, just like this whole
Right.
aspect of it.
I don't know. I think it would be interesting. And if it does, I mean, it's not like I'm not looking for something to get rich off of in no way, shape, or form.
Bruh, I podcast.
I know.
Nothing.
I know.
And you go, you gonna make some money off it? No, I'm good with it.
It's like sometimes I go to YouTube and you just search certain things, and sometimes I just want to watch. I want to watch autocross. I want to watch other people autocross. I've got tons of videos of me autocrossing.
Yeah,
I want to watch others.
it'd be great to see like
a lot of content. I mean,
somebody
there is, but there isn't.
document it, but then talk to other people
Right.
at the track.
Right.
Hey man, what are you willing to talk about this? You willing to tell me what you got going on? What works for you? What doesn't work for you? What?
And that's the thing, is there's so much knowledge, and there's this weird. Everybody's real tight-lipped about stuff.
It's racing.
Yeah. They are, but they aren't. That's the cool thing. When we go to a national
they want
event or
you
whatever.
to succeed.
Yeah.
Only to the extent that it doesn't beat them.
Correct.
I want to give you everything, and I want to help you, but I don't want you to beat me.
So I don't know. I think there might be a little something there. It might take a little bit of time to kind of refine it.
So I mean, I think that there's an angle there of you expose what the secrets are.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's what people want to know. People want to know what's the secret.
How do you get better? Sure.
What's really the secret sauce behind the autocross car?
And here's the thing. A lot of that secret sauce depends on your driving style. Because the way that I set up a car and I'm able to drive that car fast isn't the same way that you're going to set up your car to drive to the same time.
Right.
To be as fast as myself. Which is going to be different from how you, Tommy, might set up your car and still be as fast as Mark and I.
But I always found it interesting, the difference between a car that's driven daily and then taken to autocross versus a car that's completely 100% set up for autocross.
Right.
Even I don't even know the classes anymore. If there's like just an STS class that's like,
Still is.
a class that you could drive daily and swap out some tires and do some stuff, but
it also depends on what level you're competing at. Are you talking about you just want to compete locally?
Bro, I want to nationals. I want to win the nationals. Can I drive this car every day and win the nationals?
What's your investment on a national competition car?
What class? It's. I mean, it's
the
really
only class I'm
dependent.
familiar with is something that you would run.
I mean, a nationally competitive front-wheel drive, front engine, something under 2,500 pounds.
My 2012 Mini. If I were to win a national,
You gonna go stock class?
What do I got? No, what do I got to put into it to be able to
What's stock class?
to win in a big dog event? That's like
stock class, just
big
tires and
trophy
wheels?
event.
from zero. You just bought
Big
the
trophy.
stock car off of the lot.
Yeah, I just bought the car for $10,000.
They still got stock classes, right?
Yeah,
You
30
do shocks and tires. $30,000.
easy.
$30,000 in investment for a vehicle in
That its
Upgrades.
sole purpose is to win.
right.
Yes.
What
So
class is he gonna run in?
For a Mini, probably street modified front wheel drive,
Street model.
which is the class that I compete in on a national level.
right. So then what can I run? Can I run like infinite amount of boost?
I don't believe boost is policed
Is tire size policed?
up to a certain point. I'd have to look at the rules because I'm not 100%.
You can just ballpark it. I'm just saying it for
I mean,
reference.
we run 295s on our Civic.
God damn, yeah, that's big.
295, 50, 295,
For what that
35,
is.
415s.
Right.
225 in the rear.
295 is pretty big, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's huge. I can't even think of what I have on now. And
probably
it's-
like a 205 or 225.
Yeah, it's a 205. You're right.
Yeah.
It's 205. I know it's 215 or something.
Right.
But still, that's huge. That's a
But I
very
mean,
wide.
we're
tire.
talking the lightest wheels you can purchase, potentially custom made one-offs. We're talking knife edge engine build,
right
because you're 30 to 60 seconds at a run, so it only has to last for a couple hours
right.
to get you through a season before you rebuild it for the next season.
Here, so if you put this, just saying, you spend the $10,000 on wheels that weigh nothing, and
Mhm.
it's gorgeous, and
Yep.
it's a piece of machinery that you highly respect.
Mhm.
And then you go out there and you go like this on the throttle, whoop, whoop, and that ruins it. That ruins your time. That ruins your 10th of a second or your 20th of a second.
Now remember, you've got multiple runs at an event, so if you
So it's the fastest run out of
Yes.
5 runs.
3 in the morning, 3 in the
Right.
afternoon,
So 6.
and then the next day 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, or maybe just 3 in the morning.
Really?
Yeah.
I respect autocross. I do. I like it. I enjoy it. I've never
Sure.
I've never dove into it. Like, I grew up at a drag strip.
Yeah.
I absolutely love drag racing and stuff like that. But I respect it. I want to do it more.
The problem with at a national level with somebody that builds a nationally prepared vehicle but doesn't compete at all of the national events or tries to make a full season, because there's a certain amount of events you have to compete in to qualify to go to the pro solo finale. There's not much monetary reward.
Wait, that's the problem.
I mean, really,
What's the payoff at the end of it?
it depends because each
You
event's
get to
different.
take all of your pride home with you.
That's all what it is, right? It's bragging rights.
I mean, there's contingency money from Hoosier. There's contingency money from Honda. There's contingency Hawk,
Is it
Bridgestone.
more than $30,000?
Some of the manufacturers do contingency programs. Here's the thing: if you're only going to a handful of events and you don't do exceptionally well at those events, not much.
Right.
You might get $500 from Honda. You might get a certificate for a set of brake pads from Hawk. Now, if you're going to 6, 8, 10 events per year and you're consistently winning, you're consistently getting into the challenge, you're making it work, you might make
You saying
$1,500, $2,500 a weekend.
So it's a hobby with potential of making a little bit of money.
starting
any
with a
aspect.
large fortune and having a
Yes,
little left.
but
at
it's
the end.
After you
it's
take
in the
into-
beginning it's the hobby.
Yes.
It's
After
the
you take into
enjoyment of doing what you're doing.
account that you have to have a tow vehicle, you have to have a dedicated trailer, spares.
Well, you put all the expenses into it, you don't make shit.
No.
I get it.
It
Here's the
might
thing.
pay for the weekend.
I'll buy a Tesla. I'll run bracket racings at Mount Vernon, and
Yeah.
I'll win every weekend
Right.
and make $20,000.
It's
in a year.
it's not a sport to make money at. It's a sport that you do because you enjoy
I
to
get
do
it.
it.
Right. And
to
that's-
lose money at.
you're running it because it's a hobby. It's
Right.
fun. It's extremely fun
Right.
to do. I get that.
Right.
That's
the
where
same
that
thing.
divide comes in. It's like, man, if I can't drive this damn thing on the street every day and take it and beat some local competition ass,
Right. And that's why the red car I just bought is going to be an absolute
I
blast.
don't think it could be as fun.
Why not?
Why not?
I don't know.
Just compete locally?
It's not as fun.
No, I don't
mean,
think it could be as fun to compete nationally
No.
and throw all this money at it. For me,
It's
Right.
stressful.
it would be.
But for him and his son,
correct.
it's going to be a great
Just
time.
to go out to national
Oh,
trails,
no.
slap on a set of tires, wheels
Yeah.
and tires.
No,
Learn how to teach your
that
son
I
how to
love.
drop a clutch.
That I love. I love that
It's
aspect
going to be a
of it.
blast. I cannot wait.
I grew up with drag racing. I still watch drag racing videos on YouTube, 1320, constantly watching whatever they throw up. I watch it.
1320.
Absolutely love
Well, I
it.
kind of love the local competition, but I don't, and then you go local, regional, and and it's like, well, we're only going to go to so and so race because, it's not that big, and
that's what sucks with
the date's not
competing at some of the national events that we've had here in Ohio, and going to nationals in years past, going and doing a locals, like I don't know,
I respect it.
it's kind of silly sometimes.
It is. I mean, to me, when I first was introduced to it, I was like, "Oh, this is parking lot racing."
It is.
That's how I was introduced to it, and
Yeah.
it was from you guys.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Yep.
your white Integra,
Yep.
the green, the green four door. That's how I was introduced to it. Was
Right.
like, I was like, "Damn, this is parking lot racing, man." But I respect it. It's cool. It's it's another motorsport that it takes skill to do.
Mm-hmm.
It really does.
I lost first place at the Toledo Pro last year by .075.
Wow. That's it. Not even that.
.075.
I can't even make a sound that's fast enough for that.
Correct.
And you lost it by that
Correct.
much. How much did you sleep that night?
I was all right with it. I was all
Listen,
right with it.
and-
It's still
and
fun for me.
seemingly just as fast. 2018 has kind of run over us.
Yeah.
Let's talk about 2019.
I'm not done yet with drag racing in cars real quick.
I'm done.
I want to say one more thing. Real quick. So
Sure,
you run
sure,
how
sure.
long? 30 seconds to a minute?
Yeah.
And then drag racing is
Even a fraction of that.
8 seconds.
Yeah.
If you're got a good car.
15 in my minivan.
15 in a minivan. And you build and you work so much time in creating that vehicle to do that. But it's done.
Yeah.
It's over with. But it's so much fun.
Travel 2 hours to go to Toledo to run a,
So much fun, though.
3 minutes total
Right.
time on track.
But when you're there, you have a community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's more than just the actual racing itself. It's the community. It's being people with the same, the same nature of
Unloading
racing.
the car, checking the car, walking the track again. I'm going to walk it again.
Yep.
Right.
Learning it. First run. Oh, shit.
Working,
Second,
watching
third,
other
fourth,
people
fifth
run. Yeah, I mean it's
Picking up cones.
a whole thing.
It's fun.
It's
so,
a good time.
It can be.
so 2018 is it's been a shitty year for me.
Really?
Well,
Yeah.
you know what? You can still take things away from it.
Right. I can't.
And that's
You're
always
absolutely right.
That's always the important thing, that it's never going to be perfect. Every year is going to have wins. Every year is going to have losses.
I'm happy with a push.
Are you guys an odd or an even numbered person?
I'm an odd.
I'm an odd too.
I'd say odd,
Yeah.
because the only number affliction I ever have is with my birthday.
What's your birthday?
111.
Yeah.
I'm a 6'1", so I'm an even and an odd.
My sister's birthday, 11/1.
Wow,
That
that's
freak you out.
That
Not
is a little
bad.
freaky. It's kind of cool. I haven't seen your sister in a long time.
You know what number one, the pick 3, the day I was born in 1982?
No shit.
111 bitches.
Really?
Yep.
Can you imagine that?
And it happened again. I think I was 21 or 22.
And you didn't play it.
Didn't play it.
that's crazy.
It's a little weird.
You seen the commercial where it's like, The Office has won $500 million, split 19 ways, and Ted had a battery trouble and wasn't there that day for the lottery. And they're like, don't buy cheap batteries.
Right.
That's good.
It's a pretty cool
really good.
commercial. Yeah, he's like, everyone's celebrating and like flicking everybody off that they're quitting, and he's just like, I'm here for the rest of my life.
Todd walks in with his lunch bag for the day.
Yeah, exactly. It's horrible.
So no, I've been sharing. So one of my, not to plug my own stuff, but James Clear, who is a New York Times bestselling author, he usually goes to the gym I go to, but he wrote a book on habits, and one of these things really affected me. I'm slowly going through his book because it's very manualized. It doesn't have as many stories as I want to hear, but he has it's almost like an earth picture where they say you have a core, you have the mantle, you have the crust.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense? So in the core, he calls it your identity. In the mantle, the middle ring, talks about processes. And on the outside section, you have things called outcomes. So what happens typically is people focus on the outcome that they want to create. So that's the first thing that comes to their mind. Mm-hmm. But instead, they should actually focus on their identity. Who do they want to be? So it kind of blew my mind because I was like, you know what? You aren't what you want to have as an outcome. You are who you claim as an identity. Like, you don't just think that you're a photographer.
Right.
You just say, I'm a photographer. I do Google Photos.
Right.
I do this. This is what I do. This is who I am. You're not focused on the outcome. You're focused on, this is who I am as an identity. And that forces you to have an outcome because too many people focus on, I want to lose 75 pounds and be skinny. Instead, you should say, well, I'm a skinny person and I exercise and I eat right. You're not focused on the outcome. The outcome typically should happen.
Therefore it will be.
Correct. And too many people get it backwards. And I've noticed so many things. And one of the things that hit me recently was, like, I am a dad. Mm-hmm. Like, I really am a dad. I can't escape it. I don't know what it means.
She locked you up, man.
She got you trapped. But, like, and I tell people, like, it's taken 6 or 7 years for me to go, like, this is who I am. I ain't changing it. It's just who I am. It's a part of my identity now. I have to own it. I can't just go, yeah, I got kids. No, I'm a dad. I'm not just a guy that has kids. I'm a fucking dad. So it's just a really weird shift in, like, understanding and kind of not just projecting who I am, but going, that's who I am. So I'm going to do these processes that ultimately have these outcomes. Mm. So, and when I see a lot of people have success in what they do, they don't always realize it, but they just assume the identity instead of just reach for the outcome.
Right.
And you don't go into business with Google Photos or real estate.
Right.
You go, I want to create an income of X, Y, Z amount per year. You're like, yeah, that'd be a great outcome.
Right.
But no, first, I'm a photographer. And I edit photos, and this is what I have to do. But the outcome is just a secondary piece.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
Too many people start from the outcome and they focus in. Yep. Once I get this outcome, because of these processes, I will be this person.
It's like searching.
You say, nope, I'm this person, and because of that, I have to do these things because this is what results.
It's like searching a career based on what the salary is.
100%.
Yeah. Architects make $125,000 a year.
So I want to be an architect.
I can do this. I can be an architect instead of going into it like, I've always wanted to be an architect. I don't give a shit if it's $40,000 a year or 100 whatever. No, it's a good way to look at.
It just kind of like, because I mean, do I like what I do? But I like the idea that I get to provide stable income and there's potential there, but the idea is that what I do now, I can do anywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
That's very important.
Anywhere. There's lots of insurance companies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not beholden to one.
Want to go to Arizona? Go to Arizona. Do the same
Yeah.
thing.
You can do the same thing.
Hot as shit. Don't touch
They'll
your door
pay me.
handles. Right.
Make them east-west or north-south so they don't touch the sun. Look out, scorpions. Anywho, no,
That's good. That's good. You're absolutely right, Tommy.
I read that book and just that chapter and I was like, holy cow, man. Like, that makes a lot of sense. Like,
It's weird how things can resonate with you so
it's
much.
so
and just-
weird. And then I was listening to David Goggins on Joe Rogan. I don't know if you ever heard David Goggins.
I listened to all of Joe's stuff.
But that stuff is like, this dude went from like, he was a 300-pound dude and he went into the Navy SEALs and he got out of the Navy SEALs and he gained back to 300 pounds again. And then he's like, I want to run a 100-mile race. And they're like, I gotta, and he did it. And he's just like, you got to deal with your bullshit. Like, usually the stuff that's stopping you from doing what you really want to do is just bullshit.
Right.
It's just dumb stuff. Whether you created it or it really happened to you, just get over it. And some of that, and like the balance of like this no nonsense guy that's like, just fucking do it, you pussy, to this
Just send it.
manuscripted approach of James Clear in his book. It's just like, it's kind of hit me in a funny way. And then this whole dude that died thing, and I'm like, holy shit, like. Anywho, so that's probably my kickoff to 2019. Sorry to drop that on you guys.
No, that's good. You're already thinking about 2019. It's a
Yeah.
lot of things that people aren't doing. Well, I mean, if they're thinking about it, they're like, I need to work out more. You have this influx in the gym, but, they're not looking at it the way how you look at it.
Well, it's not just, why do you want to work out in the gym?
They're focused on the end result.
The outcome.
I weigh 225 pounds.
Don't you want to be somebody that works out and is fit and can move and can...
I would rather weigh 225 pounds, again, still, but be athletic.
Yeah, sure. No doubt.
Right. Have muscle and be able to run 5 miles and not be like,
that would be
and
cool.
die from that. I get it. That's good, man.
It's just very interesting.
It's very good of you to be able to look forward. Like, you're always looking forward, and I credit you to you. Ever since I've known you, we've always done that. And when we looked at Passing Motorsports together, you always looked at the future of where you need to be and what you're going to do. And it's pretty cool. I admire that.
I appreciate that.
It's influenced me. I mean, it really has. When we work together, it helped me a lot. So it's pretty cool.
I don't know. I don't have an answer to that.
No, you're not supposed to, and then maybe that's just it's an odd.
No, I appreciate
It's
that.
an odd interruption in time when it comes to a podcast of talking about that, but just crediting to you of, your mindset of looking towards the future. And my wife looks towards the future, where we're going to be in 5 years. And sometimes I don't.
Just focus on today.
I focus on today. That's how I live my life. I kind of focus on like what's happening tomorrow.
Yeah, but in some way, you've set a goalpost at an end and you just keep chopping at it.
Yes. I have dreams. I have hopes. And I've talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
Stupid shit like owning land.
It's not stupid shit.
Well, yeah, it's stupid shit to some people, but it's the goals of like owning land and the pride of being, having this and that, and it's not materialistic, but it's also just being able to how hard you fucking worked.
Hey, if you don't have
To
anything to
have
work
that.
to, what are you working for?
Right. I look to my father-in-law. My father-in-law came from shit. He came
Yeah.
from nothing. Queens, New York, had nothing. Now look at him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He has worked his ass off to have everything in the world that he's ever wanted. And he's taught me a lot. He's opened up a shit ton of doors of opportunity for me that I'm very grateful for.
Yeah.
But he's never been like, here.
Yeah.
And I respect that.
Right.
I highly respect that. And I think that's just, the same basis you work on. I think the same thing you'll do for your kids. I don't know. Right.
What about you, Nick? Anything going on in 2019? You ain't thought that far in advance.
No. Just
No.
keep pushing forward.
Yeah. Selling shower.
2019 is going to be a good year. I think it's going to be a good year overall.
Yeah.
I think it will be.
Should be good. Yeah, I mean, especially when you've got, raising young adults.
Woo.
Not much planning you can put into that. I mean, you can put a path in front of them. And
What do you have ideas on what you think they want to do? They have thoughts?
that's the thing, is it changes.
Yeah.
It is a moving target.
It is, but
It really is.
they could do one or two things, right?
It's whatever they want.
I mean,
to
it
do.
could be simple,
Yeah.
right?
Do you ever guide them in the direction of where you think that they want to go? My parents never did. My parents, when I showed any kind of interest in something, they were never like, "You should do that for a living."
I mean, yes and no. He's expressed interest in wanting to play collegiate football at whatever level.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever I need to do to get you to where you need to be, I will provide.
Do you see any niches, like a niche environment for him? Of damn, he's actually really good at that.
Not yet.
And it develops.
And he's going through that right now.
Did you know what you wanted to do for a living when you were 18 years old?
Nope.
No, I didn't either.
Nope.
Did you, Tommy?
I still haven't figured it out.
And it's completely
Completely
okay.
fine. Right.
It's completely okay. As long as he has something, and I keep saying he because my daughter is just, she's a straight line right now to whatever she wants to do.
Yeah, she's a
She's a 4.0 straight A student. She doesn't, I mean, she's not worried about anything other than having fun with her girlfriends, playing her soccer, going to her dance class, and she loves school.
She's got
She
her
likes to
shit
read.
going.
I mean, she's not worried about any of the other stuff. Where maybe my son is maybe a little bit more focused on some of the stuff than actually, getting through high school and making sure that he's setting himself up properly to move into college.
Right.
And so on and so forth.
Oh,
So-
look, that's shiny.
Yeah.
Let's touch that.
And that's kind of what
look,
that's what it
that's
feels
shiny.
like. Yeah, that's what it feels like at times.
Garrett's a great kid.
Oh, for sure.
Rachel's a wonderful kid as well. And this is just funny, but I think Garrett will crash on on Rachel's couch one day.
Probably.
You know what I mean? Like that type of
Probably.
situation.
Yeah.
He'd be like, "Hey sis,
I could see
need to
that.
be able to stay at a place," and she's like, "It's cool. You're gonna be here for 2 weeks, though."
I could see that. No, I mean I'm not.
I know.
I try not to
I'm
press.
joking. I'm joking.
I try not to press or pressure him into anything based on my thoughts or maybe his mother's thoughts or as to what we would like to see him do. Just kind of really want him to really figure it out.
Not to pry on what it is, but I mean, football is very very important in his life right now. Do you see him being like college athlete?
Probably not D1, if I'm being completely honest. Could he play D2? Yeah, probably.
Right.
Probably.
I don't know what D1 and D2 is, but I get it.
I mean, he is a.
It's an important. Here's the thing for me. The reason why I bring that up is it's an important social aspect for him too.
Right.
To
Right.
playing football.
Yeah.
Team leadership, being part of a band of brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that, and then just being.
He's a
in
good
that social-
athlete. He's not a great athlete.
Right.
Does he do track?
He doesn't have to be a great athlete to
Right.
learn experiences from that, though.
Just one sport?
He wants to. So he did track 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. He wants to do lacrosse this year.
Is he fast?
Lacrosse? Don't do lacrosse, man.
Is he fast?
No,
No.
he's not fast.
Okay.
He's not.
Lacrosse will.
Got his mother's speed.
But he's thinking it may help. What he just said. So, like I said,
Those mother efforts are
whatever you want.
serious. In lacrosse.
Whatever you want to do, son. If
They
you're
get
gonna put 100% in it, I'll put
smashed in the
100% in it.
Are you worried about concussions?
Not really.
You're not?
Not really. That's why I said he's a good athlete.
Right.
Great athletes.
That
yeah,
would scare me.
Yeah, it does here and there.
What's he play?
He's playing D end right now. When he played quarterback beginning of last year. Yeah, I was a little bit scared of.
Did he really?
Yeah,
That was awesome.
he did really well. He did really well. But there's
Corner back?
quarter.
Quarter.
Yes.
He was in charge of the offense.
Yeah. Quarterback.
What happened?
He said,
Why doesn't he play anymore? Quarterback.
There's politics in high school football.
hell yeah, there is.
I don't know that he and the coach saw eye to eye a lot of times.
Sounds good. He should move to Westerville.
Oh, and the other thing was he never played quarterback before, and especially with a lot of the Division I high schools, the coaches don't. And I hate to say this, but they don't always coach the kids; they manage the kids.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the program starts at, the middle school level. They start with a very watered down version of the high school program. So by the time they get to high school, they're, I don't want to say expected, but it's kind of expected to know what to do. And when you have a shorter, pudgier 7th and 8th grader that really grows his freshman year
Yeah.
and thinks to himself, I'm athletic enough, I'm moderately quick, I should be playing a specialty position instead of just being a blocking dummy on the line. And he wants to, I want to run the ball. All right, so we'll focus on building your running ability. I want to throw the ball. Because he can throw the ball really well.
I think a lot of kids have that same mindset, though.
Right. And he gets in and he plays 3 games at quarterback, and every time he touches the ball for a run, he's positive 5 to 7 yards every single time. Mm-hmm. He throws the ball, and the ball is pretty close to on its mark every time, but he doesn't have some of the refinement of knowing all of the steps,
He could.
Did he play that this year?
He can be quarterback for the Browns.
Oh, gosh.
So he did well, and he's the kind of kid that if he's not getting the positive reassurance, he kind of yeah.
I don't know.
And I see that with a lot.
That's hard, though.
I see that with a lot of the kids now,
Yeah.
though. Where when I played football, you got yelled at. You were running. You're doing this. You're doing that.
You ran
when
till you puked.
Yeah.
It was
Ultimately,
they're a
there's
little
so many-
soft.
a lot
You're
of the
right.
kids these days
So
are
many
soft.
options.
You can say
for-
they're soft. But here's the thing, though, is our parents said the same shit about us.
Probably.
My dad would say, you guys are a bunch of pussies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
we are.
grief.
So he played the end
Right.
at the end of the year, and he really liked it.
Okay.
And
That's good.
he went as far as to say, because he was playing on the there's a JV and a JVB team, which had some of the freshmen and some of the less skilled upperclassmen would play down. He went as far as to, when he switched to that position, he would play his JVA game and then asked to play and fill in on the JVB game. So trying to get the extra reps and show the coaches, hey, trying to learn this as quick as I can, again, because he switched mid-season to another position on defense.
Can you ice skate by chance?
Can he ice skate, play hockey?
Yeah, you could probably ice skate.
He's going to do some lacrosse.
If he's doing lacrosse
He thinks he
and
wants
he can
to.
ice skate, you might want to introduce him to hockey.
Yeah,
White people love hockey.
I guess.
No. Yes.
I
But no.
still don't understand hockey.
Are you serious?
It's
Yeah.
the puck in the net thing.
Well, that's about all I
Has
understand.
nothing to do with puck in the net.
What? You don't win by putting the puck
That's
in the
like,
net?
I put the basketball in the hoop.
You win.
Like, it's the same thing as saying that, right? But hockey.
I don't understand. I
Hockey's
don't
the whole-
understand
dude.
soccer,
I'll tell you what.
hockey, lacrosse. I don't know. I mean,
Lacrosse.
yeah.
I come across you with a cross check in lacrosse.
Mm-hmm.
If he can handle that, he can do hockey, and he'll make a lot more money in hockey
Yeah.
than he'll ever do in lacrosse.
I know.
How many lacrosse professional teams do you see?
No.
Zero.
They're out there, but yeah, you don't ever see them.
It's the LaCroix lacrosse team.
Not saying that that's a career
Right.
or even football's a career, but hockey, here's the thing, though, with hockey is if you ever watch an interview with any hockey player, none of them have sass.
Or teeth.
Before or after they put their teeth in.
Ah!
Doesn't matter. Half of them don't put their teeth in.
All right.
I'm just saying, none of them have this, like, I am
I know.
greater than
Yeah.
anybody else. It's a camaraderie of team and building that relationship.
I'm just looking for him to have a good time in high school.
Yeah, exactly. I guess that's
Get
the real
good-
thing
get
you got
good
to take out of
grades.
it is
Hang out with your dudes.
have
you
a
know.
good time.
Right. Go.
Enjoy high school, because believe it or not, high school is not everything.
Right. Enjoy it while it lasts.
Right. You don't
Yeah.
realize what it is until you're about 30, and you're like, "What the fuck did I do back
I
then?"
keep telling him that.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to understand that because
It
when
is.
I was 17, 18 years old, I couldn't see past that.
Can't see past next Tuesday.
I can't see that.
Right.
See you next Tuesday.
And
Right.
now that I'm 37,
Good
I'm like, Lord, I'm going to be 40 soon. 40.
Yeah, you are.
What am I doing? But
So-
then again, I don't look back and it's.
I just want him to have a good time.
I want to say on the record that I was the purpose of the name Garrett. I named your son.
Yeah.
I did.
Mhm.
Can I have that recorded on air?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, 2 hours and 58 minutes into a podcast.
Woo woo.
That's really crazy. I apologize to everybody that ever listened to this thing. If you got this far, you're a true patriot to Tommy's podcast.
That's right. And Mark Riley will give you 2 free photography sessions.
That is not.
If you were in the
official.
Fort Myers area and comment down below,
Yes, you know what? Yeah, that's
one,
right. I don't do portraits, but you know what? I have a good Pixel phone.
Pixel 2?
No, it's actually the standard same Pixel that I had last time podcast.
You don't even have the Pixel 3 yet?
No, dude.
What's
I'm not
wrong
gonna
with
spend any
you?
Money on that. This thing's good enough. They haven't updated it yet to where it crashes.
Have you seen the night mode?
I've seen the wonderful portrait mode on iTunes or iPhones that everybody's freaking out about and they love.
No. The night mode on the Google Pixel 3 is like,
Is it pretty cool?
it is the bee's knees, bro.
I'm not hip, man.
I'm not either, but I know that that's way better than what you got.
It probably is.
Anywho. All right, let's kill this before we hit 3 hours.
Cool.
I'm sorry, guys. I appreciate you.
Yeah, it's an interesting.
Till next time.
Thanks, guys.
Doesn't 3 hours just fly by? I love listening back to this. Loved hearing my buddies talk. It's always a great time. It's even better to be able to relive it. That's the beauty of this thing. Thank you guys for stopping by, downloading this, listening to it. You're probably just nosy at this point if you're listening this far, so I want to appreciate all the nosy people, all the people that care about this and download it and listen to it and listen to nonsense. That's what this is. We'll keep doing nonsense. You keep listening. All right. See ya.